All right. Damn, why is this shit acting like this? My bad, chat. Is it this? Maybe? Possibly. Mic check. No. Mic check. The feedback is scuffed. Studio outs. Let me see. Mic check. Wait, am I panning? That's probably what it is. Mic check. Okay. Mic check. Why was this on? I gotta calibrate my whole setup again, chat. All right. Anyway, are we live? Okay, I think we should be live everywhere. Oh, that's why. So it is on mono. Okay. Somebody said I just got up from a nap. Yeah. Of course, I had to keep the streak going, chat. Streak continues. I don't care what y'all say. Anyway, thank you guys if you guys are up with me. We're going to try to get into a few topics if we can. Okay? Yeah, how come y'all excuse for everything is, nigga, you're a millionaire? Bro, it's fucking equipment. It's like a $300 equipment. It could give problems for anybody. Somebody said farm tracks for clips. Somebody say I'm smoking on Venezuela. What's going on in Venezuela? Some people said Blueface. Wait, did Blueface to them respond back to me? Me, Blueface, and Soulja Boy, we all streamers now. So I guess we're just, when you're a streamer, basically it's just like you start playing verbal tennis. I say something, you say something. I say something, you say something. And we just kind of pass, we start passing. Oh, you were saying. Venezuela's a pack? Let me see what's going on in Venezuela. I heard Venezuela had the baddies. Fuck.
Mira ya, mira el quemado.
Holy shit. Damn. Yo, does Venezuela even have a military, bro? They probably got a couple niggas with face paint and a couple machetes. What the fuck? How we beefing with Venezuela? Yo, Trump. Yo, this is like picking on the slow kid, bro. What we doing, gang? Yo, chat, what's going on, man? We beefing with Venezuela, gang? Man, that's like saying, what the fuck is this? The fuck is this? Is this a video game? Oh, this gotta be some video game shit. Trump ordered strikes on sites inside Venezuela, including some military facilities. Bro, what the fuck y'all think is in the military? Nigga, they probably got slingshots, bow and arrows. Nigga, they probably got frisbees. What the fuck they got in Venezuela, bro? I guess, this is like the equivalent of Trump just saying, let's just practice with the weapons we got, man. We ain't gonna use them really for the ops we need to use them on. We ain't using them for North Korea. Russia, we don't want no smoke. China, just chill, keep making the iPhones. Yo, Venezuela, what's good with y'all? Y'all dead pussy. Yo, this is crazy, chat. We beefing with Venezuela? Look at this shit. Yo, how we flexing like this in Venezuela, bro? Yo, I ain't gonna lie to you. All y'all passport bros that been going to Venezuela, Costa Rica, and all them fucking countries to get your dick sucked. Yo, how y'all niggas feel about this shit? I don't care. Yo, passport bro movement, y'all niggas need to line up, grab a gun, and go defend the prostitutes y'all fucking over there, man. What the hell? What the fuck? What is this? This shit weak. Nah, this shit weak, man. Oh, I forgot. We just trying to like bully him, I guess. Bomb a few like strategic locations. Cause I'd be like, yo, Trump, just drop the behemoth, man. To level them niggas. Send them niggas back to the 60s. We'll catch them later. Apparently we got beef with Venezuela. They keep sending some fentanyl over here. We like, yo, bro, cut it out, bro. Y'all niggas cut that out. You know my favorite videos to watch is the videos where Trump is playing like Trump be playing like the iPad, nigga. Yo, he seen a couple niggas in boats bringing some kilos of coke. He just blow the whole boat up, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I fuck with it. I'm America first. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Niggas blow the whole boat up. Come to find out, it only had like 15 fishes on there. There's no fentanyl coming, bro. Trump just doing whatever the fuck he want. Yo, Trump, I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. Your legacy cannot, and Trump's my guy, but your legacy ain't gonna look good if you bullying like Venezuela and your biggest op that you flexed on is like the cartel. Come on, gang. You gotta go take on Putin, man. Putin wants smoke. He got them B-25 big bombers. He ready for some smoke. Like, what the fuck they got in Venezuela, nigga, they probably got a bunch of, what the fuck they got? Like, some knives, machetes, boomerangs. Like, what the fuck? Let's see. U.S. airstrike against Caracas. So apparently Venezuela got like some dictator we ain't fucking with. And, we getting back on our bully. Yo, do this. We telling niggas what to do. If they on some, like all that guala shit, all right. Hold up 1 second. Let's see if you change your minds. 15 bombs. What about now? We on our bully. The only thing is we dead pussy. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because we only bullying the niggas that can't fight back. Nigga, we bullying the niggas that can't fight back, bro. Nigga, we beef with Venezuela, nigga, like, them niggas even got planes? Yo, they got military planes over there? Bro, they're probably trying to roll some boats trying to get to like, yo, we got to get to Florida, man. We going to fuck y'all niggas up. We going to retaliate. Hold on, man. Roll. Left. Right. Yeah, come on, bro. Venezuela? Like, what we doing? That's like America claiming, like, imagine like, yo, we beefing with Haiti today. They be like, yo, bro, they don't even got running water there. What you talking about? You beefing with these niggas? No disrespect to my Haitians. But I'm saying, yo, we bullying niggas now. This ain't cool. We got to take the top ops on. You see, this type of energy is like when I play that RDC clip. Yo, Trump, you know where we need to go? We need to go over there to the Middle East and tell them Israeli niggas and them Palestinian niggas, both of y'all shut the fuck up. This what's going to go on. I guarantee we won't do that shit. I guarantee we won't do that shit. We like, we don't see what's going on over here. What? Jenna who? Jenna, huh? Genocide? We don't see it. Yo, Venezuela. What y'all doing over there? Y'all got some fat? We gonna fuck y'all niggas up. Oh, yeah, this is some shit, huh? This some shit. Venice fucking Wella. Let's see this bullshit.
Que darle a nuestros hermanos venezolanos.
Mi recomendación a los hermanos venezolanos es que se mantengan en sus casas, que no salgan a la zona.
Bro, this is a top military nigga. This is a top military nigga for Venezuela. The niggas in the office that look like he don't even got AC, bro. Nigga don't even got a gun on his hip, nigga. He just got a slingshot. You feel what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. This is the niggas we beefing with, bro. We would take over. Yo, let me tell you this, man. we would take over Venezuela in a shorter time than it would take for me to get through the Chick-fil-A drive-thru, bro. Like, this is Venezuela, bro. Y'all serious?
Cercana donde están ocurriendo estos ataques. Por experiencia, puedo decir que el ejército de los Estados Unidos y las Fuerzas Armadas norteamericanas.
Man, cut it out. This is the top general from Venezuela, gang? Like, come on, bro. Venezuela? Y'all niggas serious? Yo, come on, man. Yo, the nigga got some rocks in there. Like, you don't got no ammo? Like, what the fuck? You're like, reload. Nigga take out the biggest rock. Just throw it at him. What the hell? Venezuela? The beaches look kind of high, though.
Marico.
Maricon. What the hell? Yo, Trump, you must be stopped, bro. Actually not. Somebody say I stand with Venezuela. Nigga, go there. Yo, this is a sophisticated military we're beefing with, nigga. Yo, there's a nigga in Calabasas operating a remote control, dropping like 15,000 pound bombs from 30,000 feet in the air on some elite bomber that evades every detection. You can't catch it on radar, sonar, nothing. It's coming in the stealth of the night. This nigga right here, this is the niggas versus this. Look. Wait, hold on. Wait, what's the name of that military plane? Top U.S. military. Yo, they got this one plane, bro. This shit looks so crazy. I'm like, nigga, when do we even use this shit? Nah, not this shit. Yeah, this shit right here. Bumbleclot. This is what's happening right here. We got this. Hold on. We got this shit right here. Look. This is the plane we got. There's a nigga in Calabasas just playing this shit like, yo, he playing this shit like the PlayStation. Like, this is how he rocking. He fighting versus these niggas right here. He fighting versus a bunch of Guala Rondo number 9s. Like, come on. Yo, you send a couple niggas from O Block, they'll take over Venezuela. Like, come on. Yo, you send the Crips, they'll take over Venezuela. Come on, man. What we do? This is bullying. I don't like this shit. This shit ain't cool. Nigga, the GDs will open the door and take over that bitch. It's Venezuela. Y'all serious? Look. There's 5 niggas that's trying to shoot one RPG. They're going against this unmanned aircraft that's carrying a fucking bomb that's the size of a fucking 18-wheeler. Who you think finna win? Niggas, Venezuela. Yo, Trump, you fucked up for this shit, man. If we we a superpower. If we gon' flex, we gotta flex on the other big dogs. Yo, Putin, do something else, pussy. We ain't doing that. Netanyahu, you bitch ass nigga, what the fuck you on? Do something else. We ain't on that neither. Hamas, you hoe ass nigga. Nah, we ain't do none of that. Look at this shit right here. This B2, like, look at this shit. You got a bunch of niggas. Look.
These massive aircraft were constantly kept flying or on high alert.
I just want to point out again, Venezuela, what we got going on right here. Y'all got to see this shit. Y'all got to see this bumbuck cloud. Look at this shit.
You know, if that sports car was the size of a warehouse and tried really hard to avoid getting spotted by speeding cameras. Anyway, here's where things get really
Look, y'all gotta see how big this shit is.
Flying wings are not very stable. Without a
look.
Rolled out of its hangar, you can almost hear the collective jaws hitting the floor. This was an aircraft that looked like it had been beamed down from a sci-fi movie, ready to rewrite the rules of
come on, man. This some sci-fi shit, man. This shit got a force field around it, bro. Yo, these niggas got machetes, man. Yo, first of all, put it like this, dog. This is all you need to know. This is the Venezuelan army, bro. You got 8 army niggas in this picture. Only 1 got a gun. Man, these niggas got stones. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. These are the type of niggas you go to war with them like they try to booby trap the place. Like, they don't got shit going on, man. Like, Venezuela, man, I pray for y'all, man. But Trump trying to make y'all an example. Y'all got to get that dictator out of here, man. You feel me? The only dictator niggas is jacking is Trump. Facts. He the only dictator we jacking, bro. You heard me? You heard me? Like, we only jacking one dictator. Wait, they got a dictator? What? Nah, get that nigga out of here. What's that nigga name? Maduro? Yo, we only jacking one dictator. Period. Let's hear this. I don't even know why Trump beefing with that nigga.
All right, you're watching live now. I'm Austin Westfall. We continue to track the latest on the U.S.'s pressure campaign against Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. Maduro is saying that his government is ready to discuss an agreement with the United States. The U.S. government...
Somebody said, who talking crazy about me? On X. Talking crazy about me? Nah, that's not a smart idea. I don't think it's wise for people to be talking crazy about me. I think we proved that.
...knows, because we've told many of their spokespeople, that if they want to seriously discuss an agreement to combat drug trafficking, we are ready. Retired Marine Intelligence...
Yo, were we giving this type of smoke to Pablo Escobar and them Colombians, man? Are we acting like Venezuela that crazy? Is this the Maduro nigga? Yo, chat. Come on, bro. Yo, Maduro's like the equivalent to Big Meech, my nigga. Like, come on, gang. We get this nigga out the way in 2 seconds, gang. Yo, this is like Big Meech. Like, yo, we'll get this nigga out of here when we want him to. Like, yo, Trump, why you even doing the most? I want to hear why they beefing, though. With the striking side, okay, we doing some pressure on their regime. All right, let me see.
Welcome to the News Hour.
So
it
I
is
guess
exceedingly rare.
Okay, so I guess Venezuela been sending in the fent and the drugs, right? And apparently they got some oil. We need that. We need that. We need parts. Facts. You feel what I'm saying? They trying to be stingy with the oil, but they trying to send us the drugs. All right, hold them 50, like hold 50 bombs. Change your mind later. Hold up, what's up? You know what I mean? Good way to negotiate. I bet. So I guess they got like a dictator over there who don't like really, you know, like he ain't really like he think he run shit. He think he run shit. Yo, the equivalent of the dictator in motherfucking the equivalent of the dictator for fucking Venezuela is like Big U. Like, come on, bro. This ain't nothing. It's Venezuela. He said, call mine. I do need some geopolitic, politic, breakdown. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out why we're beefing with him.
That a U.S. president would announce covert action publicly. But that is what President Trump did yesterday when he acknowledged a strike on a port facility in Venezuela. And today, media outlets reported it was the CIA that launched the drone strike on an alleged drug facility.
The CIA dropping bombs? What the fuck? Wait, I thought it was supposed to be like the army.
It comes as the Trump administration is targeting not only drug smugglers across the region, but also Venezuelan.
Venezuela, we could send the DEI hires of our military to go take over Venezuela, okay? You take 2,000 bitches from a shady room, nigga, and just give them just give them a flat iron, nigga, they'll take over Venezuela. It's Venezuela, bro. Venezuela. Are you fucking kidding me? It's fucking Venezuela. You take 20 YNs from like Philly. They're taking that shit over. Facts. Just give them the switch. It's gonna be like they came down from space. It's an automatic weapon. Yes, nigga. Just arm them niggas with a switch and a shiesty. Venezuela will be ours. We'll stake claim to it in the morning. Venezuela, you are now the 51st state. Okay? The first order of business, y'all motherfuckers gotta learn some English. We like Venezuela, though. Let me go look it up on the map. Venezuela. Y'all gonna pray for y'all, man. Trump about to fuck y'all niggas up. Ain't we so lucky? We in the United States of America, bro. Imagine like a bomb drop in the city over you, like the next city over. Oh hell nah, nigga. Yo, we live in the greatest country. Nigga, we be watching this shit on Twitter like this shit fucked up. Yo, pray for the people in Palestine. Oh my God, they're decapitating people in the Middle East. Nigga, we hear about 2 niggas that get clapped in our city. Be like, what the fuck? Stop crime. Imagine you just looking outside and you're watching bombs drop. We're spoiled. Oh, okay. Oh, it's right next to Colombia. Yo, Brazil don't be on shit, do they? They don't even sell drugs in Brazil, right? They sell big booty bitches. Like, what the how Brazil so big, but they ain't never been on shit, man? It's always like Colombia, Venezuela. Yo, I ain't gonna lie to you. Yo, Trump, let's take that shit over, man. Let's take that shit over. Add that shit is like let's get on our Putin shit. Let's take that shit. Stole that, bro. Yo, Peru be having some bad bitches. I can't even hold you. Still. Paraguay. I only ever seen them when it comes time to World Cup, man. Them niggas could play the hell out of some soccer. I don't know what the fuck they do otherwise. I know about Chile. The girl I took to prom, she was Chilean. Yeah. Argentina. I only know a soccer player from over there, man. Oh, that's where Uruguay is? Okay. Yeah, Venezuela not serious. Yo, we don't even need no, like, military planes, nigga. Like, yo, bro, just take 3 yachts and go over there and take the whole bitch over, man. Facts. Take that shit over. You know what I mean? Yeah, we could turn Venezuela into, like, little Puerto Rico or some shit like that. That would work. Turn Venezuela into little Puerto Rico. That should be fire.
President Nicolas Maduro himself. For months.
Yo, bro. Yo, these niggas got canoes. We got this type of shit, bro. This is what they got in Venezuela, bro. Is it? Am I spelling it right? This is how they come into Venezuela, bro. The niggas we beefing with, they're pulling up on us like this. The niggas we beefing with, chat. Oh, somebody said we beefing with Venezuela because of the drug and the fact they're working with Russia. They've been subverting U.S. interests for a while and potentially staging area for an attack on the U.S. on some Pearl Harbor shit. Well, if that's the truth, we pussy then. We should just take that shit over just like how Russia want to take over Ukraine. Russia, I understand why Russia beefing with Ukraine. Yo, y'all our next door neighbor. Y'all can't be the headquarters for all our ops to set up to attack us. We're going to fuck you up. All right, we get that. All I'm saying, chat, the niggas we beefing with, this is what they looking like right here, bro. This is how they pulling up. They pulling up like, yeah, look. This is them right here. This is them Venezuelan niggas right here, bro. They're pulling up like this. They pulling up like this. We pull up like that. Come on, man.
The U.S. has built up the
Look at this shit. This fucking ship is so big, they got airplanes that land and take off on this bitch.
Caribbean's largest armada in half a century. 30 strikes on what the U.S. calls narco-terrorist drug boats, the latest in the eastern
Look, they just blow the boat out of the water.
Pacific just last night.
God damn.
The capture of 2 sanctioned Venezuelan oil tankers and the chasing of a 3rd tanker that today reportedly requested Russian protection. And today, news the CIA reportedly launched a drone strike along the Venezuelan coast. The reported target, a storage facility operated by the transnational gang Tren de Aragua, which the Trump administration...
Yo, come on. This a nigga we beefing with? This a nigga right here? Yo, chat. This the equivalent of, this Ricky Tan? Yo, word up. This the equivalent of, this is a 5-foot midget in a bathrobe. What are we talking about? Yo, That's Ricky Tan?
Why didn't you tell
Listen,
me
right here. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Let's go.
I'm busy at the moment.
Ricky Tan.
Yo, Ricky Tan, come on, man. Get your bitch ass up. We out of here, man. Like, come on, stop playing with us, Ricky Tan. Yo, Ricky Tan, come on, nigga. Get your whole ass up, man. It's time to go. Yo, Ricky. Here we go. Here we go. Nah, this is an epic scene, bro.
Friend is on vacation.
Here we go.
Oh yeah. She said I could have any.
Hold on. I gotta play it right here. Look.
You American?
This way, and you go this way.
Nah. That shit was hilarious as fuck. Here we go. Look.
Y'all don't know how good this feels.
Word.
I got in a big fight last night with Trax.
President of motherfucking Venezuela? Ah, hell nah. This is some salsa bachata dancing ass nigga. Let's go get this nigga, man. Turn the merengue on and get this nigga out of here, bro. Stop playing, man. Stop playing. The fuck? Nigga, you sent one U.S. spy over there with some Bad Bunny music, nigga. We own the whole country. Fuck that.
That's a midget in a bathrobe.
That's a bruh. Bruh. This the nigga we scared of, bruh. In Venezuela. This nigga right here? Are you serious?
Connects without
Are you serious?
evidence to Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro.
This nigga right here?
There was a major explosion in the dock area where they load the boats up with drugs. They load the boats up with drugs.
Yo, this nigga Trump is a fool. Yo, this nigga get briefed by the CIA and the FBI and the military. Yo, we just did a secret covert mission. We're still in their country. We're making it our way out. No one should know this, but you have top secret classified privileges. This is a secret mission. First interview out. Yo, we just bombed them bitch ass niggas. We about to leave in a minute. Like, yo, this nigga can't hold nothing. He can't hold water at all. Yo, we just did a top secret mission. Nigga, the mission ain't even over. This nigga will tell you anything.
There was a major explosion and
Administration connects without public evidence to Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro.
there was a major explosion in the dock area where they load the boats up with drugs. They load the boats up with drugs. So we hit all the boats, and now we hit the area. It's the implementation area. That's where they implement.
All right, somebody said I should hit Myron real quick. I'll see if Myron, is he on nothing? Well, yeah, he probably have no line, bro. Nah, I'm gonna call him. Let me call him real quick. Let's figure out what the fuck going on in Venezuela, nigga. Let me see if he answer. I know he probably do. I think he on. He doing the show, though. Trying to figure out what the fuck. I think he busy. Yeah. I'll text him. So it's really just some drug shit.
And that is no longer around.
If the amount of drug
It's no
trafficking
longer
comes
around.
down significantly in the Caribbean, and I think it must, the regime is going to have a lot less money to throw around.
Elliot Abrams was the first Trump administration's special envoy for Venezuela and is today a senior fellow for the Council on Foreign Relations. He supports the pressure campaign that is targeting Venezuela's chief source of revenue as a way to
Drugs?
weaken Maduro's grip on it.
Yo, this nigga is just like all this nigga do is dance. This nigga like Bobby Shmurda. He's like the Venezuelan Bobby Shmurda.
Power and force him to step down.
The economy of Venezuela will get
Yo, everybody mad serious. This nigga just keep dancing.
worse, and the finances of the Maduro regime will get worse. And that will increase public pressure and internal pressure in the regime. That at some point there are either mass demonstrations or somebody in the military acts, or the regime basically decides, we don't know how far Trump is willing to go with this. Let's make a deal now.
But the administration's critics
Damn.
argue the pressure campaign's tactics are illegal and its goals are imperialist.
It's straightforward territorial intervention. It's the kind of thing that was characteristic of the United States in the Caribbean region back in the beginnings of the 20th century.
Daniel Hellinger is a Webster University professor emeritus who says Maduro is not the threat that the U.S. alleges.
I don't think he's sort of the kingpin that they're trying to portray him to be. Venezuela does not traffic in fentanyl to any significant degree.
Man, shut your bitch ass up, man. Yeah, man. Yo, listen. Yo, everybody know we've been the bullies of the goddamn, especially like all these Caribbean niggas. Like, and shit, even my country. Yo, we had like a lit drug dealer down there in Jamaica. Go look him up. His name is Christopher Dutters Coke. Yo, America was just like, yo, all this shower posse shit y'all got going on. Y'all killing a bunch of niggas in New York and shit like that. Y'all helping them Colombian niggas smuggle that coke over here. Yo, we need that drug dealer. The government at first was like, we ain't giving you shit. 2 weeks later, the government say, all right, we gonna get that nigga for you. Yeah, that's what happened. We went and got that nigga. We went and got that nigga and handed him straight to the U.S. Yeah. When the U.S. says, yo, that's the person we want, or that's the nigga that keeps sending in drugs, yeah, we usually we're gonna handle that. Yeah, the U.S., they get on their bully. Yeah, it is what it is. They only do it with, like, countries that don't really got it, though.
Agree. And that most of what comes out of Venezuela is more likely to be marijuana or cocaine, and even that doesn't even come towards the United States.
Imagine us people.
Maduro himself this week
Does this nigga own a suit?
has been trying to laugh or sing past the pressure, in between boasts and bravado.
Our military have a glorious history as emancipating, humanist, invincible warriors. Today, our armed forces are more prepared than ever to continue winning peace, sovereignty, and territorial integrity for our people.
And opponents of the Trump administration.
You a bunch of niggas with straw hats, that's who we beefing with?
Policy predict that if Maduro is ousted, there'll be chaos.
Venezuela is a heavily armed society in the civilian sector. There are going to be parts of the Venezuelan military that will retreat into guerrilla warfare. And there's just a very dense population in Caracas where crime...
Ain't nobody trying to take over the civilians, are we?
...is a serious problem, and there's lots of firearms around. So it'll get messy.
The warnings that there will be civil war in Venezuela and massive amounts of violence, I think, are wrong. That if Maduro falls, Edmundo Gonzalez, who was elected last year, will become president. And the opposition is planning...
Wait, what? No, I hit mine. When he hit me back, I'll get him on here. Wait, so this dude is a dictator because he lost the election and he's on some I'm not leaving shit? Maduro lost the election. So he lost the election. But what the fuck?
A former bus driver turned Venezuelan president. But Nicolas Maduro's
Bruh, Venezuela got took over by a fucking bus driver, nigga? Yo, this is crazy. This is what we beefing with, gang? No way they said a former bus driver is now the dictator of the entire fucking country. Nigga, how?
A former bus driver turned Venezuelan president. But Nicolas Maduro's opponents see him as a dictator who's ruled with an iron fist. The 61-year-old was catapulted to power after being handpicked by Hugo Chavez. Riding on the coattails of his revolutionary mentor, Maduro narrowly won the presidency for the first time in 2013. A baseball fan who often salsas for the cameras.
This nigga's a dancing lunatic, man. Yo, chat, when this nigga turned to be on Narcos, man, nigga, Netflix could take over Venezuela, man. We might have to hold off on Venezuela until Netflix make a fire Narcos. What is it, season 5? I want to see this nigga in Narcos. Word 2.
He's known for fending off one crisis after another. Despite sitting on the world's largest oil reserves, Venezuelans struggle with hyperinflation and critical shortages of basic goods. Political and economic ties with states including China, Russia and Iran have helped the country stay barely afloat. Maduro faced down sanctions after his re-election in 2018 wasn't recognized. Just like Chavez, Maduro has attempted to deflect blame for Venezuela's long list of troubles. He claimed victory in last July's presidential election, but the opposition accused Maduro of stealing the vote. Very few Latin American countries recognized his win. The EU and the US said opposition candidate Edmundo González was the real winner, provoking responses like these from Maduro.
I denounce the US government, which, along with Elon Musk and the international fascist Javier Milei, are leading attempts to destabilize our people and carry out a coup against Venezuelan democracy.
Maduro has attempted to portray himself as a superhero taking on Western imperialism. This, as the life for the average Venezuelan,
is that Barack?
Teeters on the edge of misery. On the edge of misery.
Yo, Trump, man, my only advice, wrap this shit up by spring break, man. Niggas still want to go over there and go to the beaches. So just wrap this bitch up, man. Like, you know what I mean? This shit shouldn't take more than 2 weeks, man. It really should be done by lunchtime, but just wrap this junk up quick, man. Get this nigga on out of there. You ever watch Homeland? I'm watching Homeland. I thought we send people in to handle this type of shit. Anyway, all right, man. Done with this geopolitical bullshit. But Trump is dropping bombs. Ridiculous. Okay. What else is going on in the world, people? What y'all got going on? I know y'all keep saying call Martin. All right, let me try to call Martin. I'm going to call him on his phone type shit. Sometimes I feel like y'all love him and hate him. I can't tell. I think he on Do Not Disturb. Hold on. Let me see.
Hey, yo, what's up, man? I'm live right now. You on stream?
Yeah, I'm on stream. Yo, I was trying to call you. I'm trying to get you to break down to like the regular folks. What's going on with this Venezuela stuff, man? Like, we trying to figure out what the fuck going on.
Sure. I'll jump on your stream. I'll jump on your stream right now.
All right, baby.
You want to do Discord?
Yeah, I'm calling you on Discord.
All right, cool.
All right. Chat. Andrew Tate could go take over Venezuela, bro. Come on, bro. Fresh and Fit could go take over Venezuela. It's Venezuela. Like, what we doing? Nah, I'm playing. I never been there. But hell, no, I won't go now. Fuck no. Could you imagine walking outside, seeing them bombs? You probably hate America over there. All right, I'm just trying to call him. Myron.
Yo,
what's going on, man?
Yo, I'm good, man. I'm good. Can you hear me nice and clear? Or is it coming in fucked up?
Let me just check the levels here. Speak?
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm actually using another mic on here. Because I'm talking to you on a mic and I'm talking to my audience on another one.
Okay, cool. Hey, listen, I just actually hopped on stream and everybody kept spamming this Venezuela stuff. Man, I know this is like more your realm than mine. What the hell is going on? And are we taking them over, man?
Well, you know, it's a resource-rich country, a lot of oil reserves, some of the most in the world. And the reality is, like, you know, I kind of saw this coming from before. I just didn't think Trump would have done it, you know, this quickly. But long story short, when he came into power, if you remember, he labeled Tren de Araguas as a terrorist organization or as an FTO. And what that basically allows them to do is, you know, treat them as enemy combatants. So, like, he basically turned these drug traffickers into, like, Al-Qaeda overnight. And that gives them a lot of executive power, him and the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, to basically treat these drug traffickers damn near like terrorists. And they've been doing these kinetic strikes on these boats for several months now, as well as mobilizing, you know, U.S. military assets all across Venezuela. and they've been trying to get Maduro out of there. He had an election not too long ago, or in the middle of 2024. A lot of people believe that the election was rigged, which, you can make that argument. But, as with any, dictator slash, president that kind of takes things and rules with an iron fist, you're going to have a large portion of the population that dislikes him, that wants him out of there. And, Maduro, aligns with countries that we're enemies with, like China and Russia. He doesn't like Israel. He doesn't recognize Israel as a state. He's very sensitive to the Palestinian plight. He's a socialist kind of. So, it's no surprise with the Monroe Doctrine that, the United States will want him kind of out of power. And there's a bunch of other stuff to it, but like just a bird's eye view, that's the general gist of it, man. As they want to get him out of there. They want to bring in Machado, who was a female person that ran against him, who would be a lot more open to, Western influence in Venezuela.
Yeah, so we kind of want to, we want to play, kingmaker a little bit. We want to pick who's running the shit. So if on face value, this is, he labels this gang as violent and also drug traffickers. Yeah. How much drugs, and you worked as a federal agent, like cracking down on shit like this coming across the border a lot. How much drugs is coming from Venezuela? Like, what they got going on over there? They got some fent, they got some hard white. Like, what they bringing in, crack?
Yeah, I mean, it's like with the rest of South America. It plays a role in the international drug trafficking, transit system, right? So, like, whether it's some stuff is manufactured there, transported through there, it's moved through drug trafficking organizations that operate there. But if we're going to be honest, right, the majority of America's drugs come through Mexico nowadays, right? We saw in the 1980s, obviously, a lot was coming in through, Miami, through maritime smuggling. But nowadays, with the sophistication of technology and the U.S. Coast Guard, et cetera, and then really taking down these planes, a lot of the drugs now come in through the southwest border through Mexico. So if the goal was to, designate narcos as terrorists, I would argue that there's, organizations in Mexico that move way more drugs than the Venezuelans. And I do think it's also important to note that Maduro was indicted in the U.S. with a bunch of other people in his government for narco trafficking. But if the goal here is to get rid of narco traffickers, Venezuela is not at the top of the list like Mexico is.
All right, I've been watching this show called Homeland, right? And well, actually, there's two questions. Let me hit you with a follow up, then I'll hit you with the Homeland question. So, I know you said Mexico, but is like I used to watch Narcos. Well, yeah, bring Narcos back again. It feels like is it the source? Not Mexico, but it's just like the one stop right before it gets to the United States, so they don't target Mexico. Like the stuff from Colombia would go to Mexico, then Mexico into the United States because it's just easier. Is that why we don't target Mexico as much, or Mexico basically like they get down with the program when we tell them jump, they say how high?
Yeah, it is a part. It's a combination of things. It is because Mexico is subservient to us to a degree. If you remember, we had the tariff wars with Mexico, and they ended up caving earlier in the year. Yeah. But a big reason why is because they've been trying to get Maduro out of power for a very long time. And him designating Tren de Araguas and these other drug trafficking organizations as terrorists, and so that they can get more. Because here's the thing: once you label people terrorists, now you have the full brunt of the, military and the intelligence community helping you out, right? Because before, when we used to do drug investigations, you would use law enforcement to do that. But once you designate these guys as terrorists, now the FISA courts are open to you. Now the intelligence community is open to you. Now you can actually start using kinetic strikes like they've been doing with these boats, right? So you get a lot more latitude and power to make things happen. Now, when it comes to Mexico, they kind of, operate under our authority to a degree. So like they're not the same, they're not as, how do I say this? They follow us much more than Venezuela does. So to me, I look at it this like, designating them from the drug perspective as an FTO, it was kind of a way to purposely be able to ramp up escalations, right? To try to stimulate some type of effect. Because at the end of the day, they want Maduro out. And any way that they can do that, they're going to do that, right? Whether it's us taking their oil, seizing a couple of these freighter ships that have been coming out of Venezuela, trying to cripple them financially, the airstrikes that we're currently doing right now as we speak, bombing these boats. They've been trying to escalate now for a bit.
Hey, so I watch a show called Homeland. Can't we just kidnap this motherfucker? Like, we got him to charge. I'm serious. Like, kidnap this nigga. Like, yo, bro. Like, yo, does Venezuela even have like some like yo? NYPD probably could beat up Venezuela like militarily. Like, come on, like we can't kidnap this guy. Like, sending a couple of dudes, couple of spies, some of these black ops dudes. Yo, kidnap this fuck nigga, put him in court, and give him the El Chapo treatment. Lock him in. You know what I mean? Lock him wherever we need to lock him.
I think that's what they're trying to do now, bro.
Oh,
I think literally that's what they're trying to do now. I just heard someone high-ranking in his government just got assassinated. So from what I understand, we do got boots on the ground. We actually got special forces on the ground in Venezuela doing this.
Okay. So
obviously information is coming. You know how it goes. Whenever something is popping off, information is going crazy. You're hearing this, you're hearing that. But at least right now, from what I've heard, the most recent is we got boots on the ground. We got some SF guys in there. They're invading. They're doing airstrikes while simultaneously probably doing a ground assault. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't have all of his higher-ranking members in his cabinet identified where they live, whether they assassinate them, kidnap them, or whatever.
Wait, you think we would assassinate them?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, they would.
shit.
Yeah, because remember, he's looking at he's looking at these guys as like enemy combatants.
Wait, but we haven't certified like well, I guess we're calling him a dictator or whatever, but he's not like, I guess he's indicted, but we're not looking at him as like one of the persona non grata, so to speak, right? Like him and his cabinet,
I'll put
right?
it to you this, bro. He has the biggest bounty. He has a bigger bounty than Bin Laden did, bro.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, let me look at how much I think it was some crazy like 50 million or some shit. Let me look Maduro bounty. Bro, they want him, they literally put a bigger bounty on him, and they just increased it not too long ago. So U.S. Department of State has him right now for, is it 25 million? Yeah, after initial offer reward of up to 15 million, yeah. On January 10, 2025, they increased the award to 25 million, bro. And then on August 7, 2025, the department announced a further increase of the award to 50 million. So 50 million right now, as of August 7th.
Okay, so when I'm scrolling, I'm reading the news, it says the CIA dropped bombs. Like, I've never heard the CIA dropping bombs. Obviously, maybe I'm just not familiar with how to get down. I thought they were covert intelligence. I didn't know that they're just like, yo, fuck it, bomb them.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is with the CIA is the CIA, their job is to collect intelligence on foreign adversaries. So, there's no doubt in my mind that the CIA, alongside the NSA and the DIA, Defense Intelligence Agency, all these different intelligence communities were absolutely collecting information, not just on him, but probably on all of his close allies to figure out where they're at and get him picked up, because this is what the CIA specializes in is assassinating, running coups, etc. Right now, Iran is having protests all over Iran. The Mossad and the CIA are absolutely setting that up because the best thing that you could do is set up what they call a color revolution or a coup, and this is how you're able to destabilize and dethrone governments and get the regime change, which is what they're trying to do in both Iran and Venezuela.
Hey, so this reminded me of another situation, and I think we had wanted a president for drug trafficking. I think he did get locked up. The Honduras president. He did.
Yeah, and he got a pardon, though.
And he got pardoned. Do you see this resulting in something like that where eventually we got this fuck nigga over here like locked up 23-1, and then, basically once we get the regime change, we kind of let him out, but basically he's finished. He's washed after that. It's not like we want to necessarily kill him. We just need him out of power.
Apparently they just captured him. I heard literally just now
they
just captured Maduro and his wife.
Yo, come on, man. I'm telling you, 15 bitches from the shade room could have went down and took over Venezuela, man. Come on, man. We should have been captured him, man. Like, come on, man. Okay, so they captured him. So you think they're bringing him back to the United States then, if that's true? Hold on.
Yeah, 100%. They're going to bring him back to face the criminal charges.
Yo, ain't this like bullying a little bit? Yo, it's Venezuela. These dudes probably got like rocks in their pockets. They got like, like slingshots. Like, these guys ain't got nothing going on. Yo, this dude was dancing merengue. I was watching to see what he on. I seen one gun, 5 soldiers. Like, come on, man. Yo, pass me the gun. Like, come on, what they got going on over there?
Yeah, he was arming all of his civilians too, but I guess that didn't work out, man. They got him in there quick.
Really?
The 2.5 hour war, it looks like niggas got him already.
Shit. You know, drop a bomb and destabilize the whole thing. Wait, so this is breaking news. They caught this guy.
That's what I'm hearing right now is that they just captured him. I'm gonna look on Twitter right now, but that's what it's looking like, is that he just got captured. At least the people in my chat are putting that. Because I literally just went live now. Okay,
is Sky News credible? It says breaking: the U.S. has captured the Venezuela leader Maduro.
Yep, Trump just put it out. He just put it out. The United States of America successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement. Details to follow. There'll be a news conference later today at 11 a.m. at Mar-a-Lago. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald Trump. So they got him. So
yo, are we like some bullies? Yo, we basically fucked them up. Before people went to sleep. They're going to wake up and be like, yeah, we fucked them up like in 2 hours. We captured their president. Yeah, they'll never be the same again. It's over. Jesus. That's kind of crazy, huh?
Yeah. No, they did it. That's the quickest conflict I've seen. But they definitely, they knew where he was at. You know, the intelligence agencies are very good, man. They know exactly where the dude was at. They attacked, saw how we would move, and probably just picked him up right then and there. So he's already out the country.
Okay, how does that do with the relationship between countries, right? Because, like, we literally have now grabbed one of their leaders, whether we recognize them or not, where we've taken them out of their country, and I guess they're going to be going through our court of law and in our jurisdiction. But how do we deal with Venezuela after that when basically we just told them, fuck you. We've not only dropped bombs on you, we've taken your leader. How could they even have civil conversations with us in good faith, seeing the fact that we just bullied the scene and just snatched their dude
they're
up?
Going to put basically Venezuela's going to be like Ukraine. We're going to put a puppet, leader in there, that Machado chick that lost the election. She's far more favorable to U.S. foreign interests as well as Israel. And they're going to put her in power, and she's going to be running things. And we're going to have access to their oil reserves, and that's what's going to happen. And that's what I predict is going to be the next step here. She's going to come out of hiding because she's been in hiding ever since she lost the election, and she's going to get put in power because she's far more friendly to Western interests than Maduro was.
Hey, I got to be honest, man. Venezuela let me down, man. This was pathetic. 2 hours. Yo, at least the dudes in O Block. The dudes in O Block at least was like, yo, listen, they send the feds here. We going to put up a little bit of a resistance. 2 hours, the whole shit is over. This is crazy. This is crazy. You're like, yo.
Yeah, that's crazy. No, it is, man.
Yo, Trump gonna be at Mar-a-Lago tomorrow. He don't even have the decency to say, yo, I'm gonna address this from the Oval Office. Yo, I'm at my vacation spot sipping mimosas. We're gonna tell you how we just took over Venezuela, man. Hey, important question. Do you think the passport bro economy is fucked up? Because I heard Venezuela was one of the spots too. That with Colombia, that's where the passport bros was going to get their shit right. Now that we've bombed the fuck out of them, took their leader, do you think that, would you advise an American to go anywhere in that region right now to fucking vacation?
Venezuela, definitely not. I mean, your money will go far, but I would not suggest people go over there. A lot of people are leaving Colombia too now, bro. A lot of people are getting out of Medellin.
Why?
Because the thing is like the secret's kind of out. So, like 10, 15 years ago, nobody knew about Colombian going there, right? Like, it was kind of a best-kept secret in the dating world. But now everybody knows. So, like, a lot of these guys are like, yo, there's too many expatriates here. It's messing things up. I'm out of here. So they're going to other places. They're going to Southeast Asia. They're going to Eastern Europe. They're getting up out of Colombia, bro. Colombia is, infested right now with weirdo sex tourists.
Yeah, wow. Yo, chat, I can't believe we've literally just... witness the quickest I was worried about like this being like a long scale war, but I was like, what the hell, like these guys don't look like they got nothing going on.
Yeah,
if we could bully Venezuela like this, why don't we go over there to the Middle East and we start waving that big dick around? Like, yo, listen, you motherfuckers over there in Palestine and you motherfuckers over there in Israel, both of you sit your bitch ass down. This was gonna go on. The U.S. is saying this, and you both gonna live with it, or else we gonna beat both of y'all asses. Why don't we do that?
I wish we did that, bro, especially with Israel, but we don't because, unfortunately, they have an enormous amount of power and sway in our political structure. And the thing is that, you know, in order for you to get into any, you know, seat of office of real consequence in the United States, you have to play the game with the Zionist lobby. You know what I mean? They literally own the government, and people don't like hearing that. But it's the truth. They run our foreign policy. They run our politicians, and they donate quite a bit of money and ensure that. And this is a bipartisan problem, both on the Republican and the Democrat side.
Wow. Yeah, I'm looking at so we didn't bomb civilians, right? Like, we just kept it to
they said it was military structures that they bombed, strategic locations, but we won't know until all the dust settles.
Jesus. Yo, is it me, or does Trump love like announcing shit hella early? Like, I was just watching him talk about the strikes. He was like, yeah, we're conducting an operation right now. And we're like, what the hell? Like, ain't this supposed to be secret? Yo, he don't give two fucks. Yo, we're conducting a secret operation. I think we just blew up. Wait, hold on, what? Oh, yeah. They just told me. He seems like he's always willing to, like, he's media first. Like, he likes to bring these details to light, because obviously, you know, it does make him look effective, because, like, 2 hours is pretty dope. But, you know, it feels like that might compromise what we got going on, man. This guy loves making announcements.
Yeah, he does, bro. He does. And,
Yo, bro, did you see the joint where he's like, we're conducting a secret mission right now? I'm like, what?
Bro, that's why he got in trouble with the whole Mar-a-Lago. If you remember, they raided his house like 2-3 years ago. They found all those classified documents, man. Like, this nigga loves to brag about that shit. Like, it's a little crazy, you know?
Oh, shit. Damn.
Yeah.
That is crazy, man. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, like, one of the things they jammed him up on, bro, and that's what I was saying, like, yo, if he didn't win the presidency, he would have 100% went to jail, because they had him dead to rights on that federal case on the documents, bro, because one of the documents that he had, it's called National Defense Information, or NDI. NDI documents, it doesn't matter what the classification is. You can't have that shit in an unsecured area. Not only did bro have that stuff in unsecured areas and all across Mar-a-Lago, he talked with like a reporter or a woman or something like that about some of the information that was in this NDI document that had to do with like Iran, and they had that recorded. Like, they literally had that recorded in the evidence. So if he had not won the presidency on this last go-round, bro, he would have 100% went to jail for espionage. No doubt in my mind about it. Because they got you dead to rights when they got you on 18 U.S.C. 793, which is like the Espionage Act. They had him, bro, dead to rights. Doesn't matter, well, he could have declassified the documents. That's irrelevant. If it's national defense information, it cooked. Can't have it.
Hey, you think we're about to go on a generational run of just bullying like these countries? Isn't Iran next? We about to start stepping on.
Iran is next, bro. Iran is next, and I don't like it.
Wait, what they got over there? They got some oil? And by the way, it's legal for us to be like, yo, y'all got some oil, we're gonna fuck you up to get it? That's
so
lit.
With Iran, right? We're attacking Iran more for Israel, right? Like, and I could kind of go. You want me to kind of explain it from the beginning for your audience? Because I know I might be, some of them might not be.
Just break it down simply. Why we got beef with Iran? Do they got weapons of mass destruction again?
Okay, so I'll go through this.
Or was that
so
Iraq?
Here's the thing. So we could talk about that too. So when it comes to Iran, right, Israel has been trying to get a war with Iran for the better part of 30 to 40 years. Netanyahu has been running around saying that they're, 3 weeks away from a nuclear bomb for decades now at this point. And the big reason why we have such a problem with Iran is because of Israel. Israel understands that Iran is the only power really in the Middle East that can, that can fight back. And they're really the only thing standing in between them and a complete hegemony in the Middle East. So they've been trying to destabilize and get a regime change in Iran for a very long time. And they've been using the ruse of, they got nuclear weapons. Well, we know that they haven't been able to, they've been enriching at a higher level, right? Almost to weapons grade, but they've never actually gotten to that point. But the Israelis don't like them being there and having this ballistic missile program and this nuclear program, etc. And we were in a deal with them called the JCPOA, also known as the nuclear deal. And this nuclear deal was something that Obama set up back in 2015, where we would be monitoring, us and the international community for that matter, and the IAEA, we would be monitoring their nuclear program in exchange for them making sure that it stays at a civilian level, enriching at a very low level percentage, as well, and we would remove the sanctions because Iran has very crippling sanctions right now. They can't sell their oil to certain countries, and they lose a lot of money doing that because they also have a lot of oil. So that was a deal that Obama put in place in 2015, which I think was one of the better things of his presidency because it ensured some kind of stabilization in the Middle East. Once Trump came in 2016, he pulled us out of the nuclear deal at a lot of pressure from the Zionist lobby, because the Zionist lobby in Israel does not want Iran existing the way that it is at all. They don't care if they got a nuclear program or not. They just don't want them there because they have a very competent ballistic missile program, right? So what ended up happening was when October 7th happened, right? Israel used October 7th, right? Because Hamas is backed by Iran. Israel used October 7th as a justification to not just wage war in Gaza, but also to wage war in Lebanon against Hezbollah, wage war against the Houthis down in Yemen, and also begin the toppling of the Syria Bashar al-Assad regime. And then, once all of that was done, once they destabilized Hezbollah, they destroyed Hamas, they hurt the Houthis, and they were able to get Bashar al-Assad out of there, then they attacked Iran with the 12-day war. They did Operation Rising Lion. It was a sneak attack. It was like their Pearl Harbor. They destroyed a bunch of their air defense. They killed a bunch of their generals. They killed a bunch of their nuclear scientists. And they were hoping that would create impetus for the people to rise up, right, and overthrow the government. That's what they wanted. It didn't work. It actually it backfired. It created an opposite effect. It made them rally around the flag, and they took to the streets and said, fuck Israel, go and attack Israel. And the reason why this is so important is because for many decades in Iran, there's been a lot of rift in the government between the conservatives and the reformists. The reformists are like our level of Democrats, our functional equivalent of like progressive / Democrats. They want more business with the West so that we can relieve the sanctions, versus the conservatives don't trust the West. And when Israel attacked them, we were in the middle of negotiating with them for the Iran deal. We were literally in the middle of a nuclear deal with them. Like Steve Witkoff had planned to meet them in Qatar like that Sunday, and we bombed them on Israel bombed them on like Thursday or Friday, right? So they got caught with their pants down completely. So Israel attacks them, kills these generals, kills these scientists. Iran's operating at blind for like 24 hours. After that, Iran fought back, and they shot a bunch of ballistic missiles into many different strategic areas all across Israel, Tel Aviv, Haifa, and shit. And now this is where the mainstream media didn't tell the truth on this. Iran absolutely fucked Israel up. Now, the mainstream media doesn't want to report that because Israel's a glass cannon, right? They like to dish out the damage, but they can't necessarily take it back themselves. So what are you looking for? Are you looking for Iran or Tehran or?
Yeah, no. So like anytime I try to understand some of these geopolitical or feuds on like a national on a global stage, using a map always helps. Like I completely understand the feud between Russia and Ukraine. Yo, you're right next door to us. You're not gonna be fucking with all our ops and welcome them there. That they could use you against us if it ever goes left. We need to do certain things. That makes complete sense. Now I'm looking at it, like Israel. First of all, I didn't even know Israel was this small. But Israel, it's you have Jordan, Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, then Iran. So Iran's like power in the region comes from what? And why are they a threat? I'm just trying to keep it simple.
Do you want me to, because I can go into Discord, bro, and I can open up my map and I can explain all this to you, because I agree, showing them visually is going to matter, it's going to mean a lot, it's going to make a lot more sense, because I got to explain the axis of resistance to your audience real quick. Okay. I'm in the call with you, is there a way that I could share a screen or something?
Yeah, you just,
Oh, I got to turn on my camera, right?
Yeah, you don't even got to turn the camera on, you just got to hit the share screen button.
Oh, okay. Let me go ahead and pull up a Middle Eastern map right here. Because this will make way more sense.
And also, like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like, I mean, obviously, I do kind of, on my spare time, I like listen to conversations about this stuff, but I'm definitely not no expert.
Yeah,
so
no worries.
I'm kind of more like the average person about it. And usually, what I believe the average American says, why the fuck do we care about anything that's going on in the fucking Middle East? Like, yo, why the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, yo, let's care about what's going on in Milwaukee. Like, why the hell we care about what's going on? Like, most of us will never go to these places. You know what I mean?
No, I totally understand, but I'll tell you why we care about it. We care about it because the Zionist lobby cares about it. That's a big reason why. Okay. So, can you see my screen right now?
Yeah, I got it. Here we go.
Okay, so let me first I'll explain what the axis of resistance is. The axis of resistance is basically, it's a formation between hostile countries that dislike Israel's presence in the region, right? You got Iran right here, who basically run and fund it. You got components of Iraq. You got obviously Syria under the Bashar al-Assad regime.
Hey, hold on. Wait, hold on. We gotta slow down a bit. So again, we're just not from that region. So again, I don't understand. So Iran is the big dog out there, or they're
the one
money wise, or is it Iraq? Because maybe it's because from I was a little kid. When I heard the word Iraq, I heard terrorists. I'm gonna keep it a beat. Like, you know, like,
yeah, that's fine.
We always just heard, like, yo, these where the terrorists live. You know what I mean? So is Iran, like, they got the bread? But I always looked at Iraq as broke. Like, these guys don't got nothing. Maybe they got some oil some places, but they don't really got nothing. So you're saying in that region, who is the U.S. or not, you know, comparatively speaking? You know what I'm saying? Like, who's the...
Yeah.
Everybody marches on their program.
Yeah, so obviously Saudi Arabia and all these Gulf states are very powerful too, but when it comes to
but they don't get in any type of wars and shit, like, right? Saudi Arabia, right?
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
okay.
So if we're going to talk about, like, ops, like, for, like, the West, so to speak, like with Israel, it's Iran. They are the big dogs. They're the ones that fund the axis of resistance.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
and then, go ahead, keep going.
Okay, so Iran basically runs the shit. And what Iran did, actually, this is a very smart strategy. They understand that they're outgunned by Israel and the United States. So what they basically did was they created almost like a proxy where they have militias in Iraq. They got the Bashar al-Assad regime, who just got destabilized. Then they got the Hezbollah in Lebanon. And then obviously they got Hamas right here in Gaza, right? And then they have the Houthis down here.
Wait, so basically they have people all surrounded with
precisely
surrounded Israel. Hold on. All right.
Precisely.
Again, I know, and by the way, for people in my chat, I know we usually don't, we stay cultural, but we got to learn some new shit, you know, every once in a while. Okay, and I'm trying to get you guys to understand some of this stuff on the most basic of level. So, okay, cool. What is the beef with Iran and Israel?
So the beef with them has been going on for a very long time. And one of the big reasons why Israel dislikes Iran is because Iran is really the last country in the region that stands between them and hegemony and basically running this thing, because they're the only nuclear power in the region.
What's hegemony?
Basically, they want to be they want to be the top country in the region, the most powerful country in the region.
Okay, and I'm gonna ask some questions that might come across as simple, but you know, I think
no worries, bro. There's no stupid question, bro, at all.
Okay, I'm looking at your map, and when looking at your map, Israel looks like the smallest of all of these countries with a lot of land. Why doesn't Israel kind of just expand? Or, like, if you're this powerful but you're small, maybe you need to start occupying more territory to gain more space. I think one of the advantages that the United States has is that we have this huge landmass where we get to, like, hedge that in, like, the whole, you know, North America, I don't want to call it peninsula, but, like, that whole continent, we kind of get to, yo, we're huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they look small.
Sphere. Yeah, so what Israel's trying to do, actually, it's interesting that you mentioned that. Israel's trying to expand. They're trying to...
Why don't they take over Jordan?
Deny this.
They should just take over Jordan and Lebanon.
Well, here's the thing. We actually pay Jordan and Egypt a lot of money to play nice with the Israelis. Israel's like the #1 recipient of aid. Egypt and Jordan are not far behind, and we pay them to play nice because obviously Egypt is to Israel's south and Jordan to the east. Mm-hmm. So we pay them a lot of money to be allies with Israel and play nice. Now, with that said, Israel is trying to expand. They absolutely want to expand. They want to take the Golan Heights. They want to go into southern Lebanon, and they want to basically, push their Greater Israel project. Now, they'll deny this, right, anytime you ask them officially, but they absolutely want to expand the country as much as they can. And take over so that they can basically secure their position in the region. Because keep in mind that Israel is a relatively new country. It was created in 1948.
Really?
So, yeah, and none of these Arab countries want them there.
Okay, good. All right, and I do have one question too. Yo, Cyprus dope. Like, they look like they got. It's a nice island. Is it the beaches around there? You see Cyprus right there?
Yeah, it's a nice area, man.
Is it like a cool country? Like who they down with? Because I would never go to the Middle East. I'm like, yo, I like beaches. I like fly shit. Like, I ain't trying to go over here, y'all bombing each other. Like, I'm not going nowhere where the bombs is dropping. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, bro, you got to stay here in the Gulf. UAE, Qatar, these are safe places you can go. Oman. But all this area here, you want to stay away from that shit, bro.
Okay, so the next question becomes, this ain't like the olden times, I'm guessing, right? This ain't no Christopher Columbus shit like you show up and you be like, yo, is this India? Nah, this is America. And you be like, yo, all y'all Native Americans, get the fuck out of here. This is our spot now. How do you take over regions these days? Like, what's the proper way? So if Israel's trying to expand, like, I'm pretty sure if they say, we're going to just own Lebanon, people will be like, yo, no, the fuck you aren't. So, like, how do you do that?
So they tried that, actually, at the end of 2024. So,
really?
So I'll explain. So as you guys know, October 7th happened, right? And Israel was beginning a ground campaign in Gaza. They started doing airstrikes and they started a ground campaign. While this was happening, right, and this is why like the Axis resistance really had their boots on their neck for a while.
Yeah.
Hezbollah was shooting rockets into northern Israel in the Haifa area, right? And as they were shooting rockets into northern Israel right here, Israel had to evacuate like 60,000 people, right? So they're getting hit with rockets down here, and then on top of that, the Houthis were sending rockets all the way from Yemen into Israel. So they were getting hit not just from the Gaza Strip, but they were getting hit from the Houthis in the south, and then the Hezbollah in the north in Lebanon. So what Israel did was, after they concluded their on-ground campaign, and they took over Rafah, and they killed a guy named Yahya Sinwar in October of 2024, right? They kind of began, or as they were wrapping up, so to speak, they began a ground assault in November-ish in November. Well, I think they started in September. They started September with the pager attack, where they blew up a bunch of pagers all across Lebanon, and they also started a ground assault into southern
I watched
Lebanon.
a documentary on that. Hey, by the way, I also just Googled, right? So, and again, I know you're on stream too, so I know your audience surprise is way more advanced than maybe my audience than me. But yo, Israel got 10 million people, and they bucking like that? 10 million? Oh, hell no. That's New York City. Yo. Iran has, I just Googled it, like 75.
Like
no. Yeah, 90 million. How the hell 10 million people bullying 90 million?
Because they got.
You ever heard of jumping?
Bro.
Like, what the hell?
Bro, that's called the U.S. firepower, bro. Like okay.
If
it weren't for the United States, Israel would be gone in 2 days, bro.
Oh,
if it weren't for the United States.
So we are the guys that our association with Israel kind of warns the region. Fuck around, you finna find out type shit.
Absolutely, bro. If it wasn't for the United States, Israel would be gone within 24 hours. They cannot defend themselves against all of their enemies in this region. So what ended up happening, right? So at the end of 2024, Israel actually invaded Lebanon. They invaded, and they couldn't make it to Beirut like they wanted. They claimed that they were going to march all the way to Beirut. They couldn't do it, but they were able to launch a successful pager attack and kill a guy named Hassan Nasrallah. This dude right here, basically. They killed this guy right here, and this is a big deal. Here, I'll show you. Put a face to the name so people really know. This guy right here, he was the head of Hezbollah at the time, and they killed him in an airstrike, right? And once they killed him, that pretty much was, the end of it, right? Because this dude was the main brains behind Hezbollah, and they had been trying to find him for a very long time.
Is Hezbollah? Are they on some icy shit? Are they terrorists or are they like just cool people? Like,
yeah, them and Hamas were designated as a foreign terrorist organization back in like 96 or 97.
Oh, okay. So they're like,
and it's funny. The woman that designated them as a terrorist organization was a Jewish woman named Madeleine Albright.
Really? Okay.
Coincidence, right?
So when it comes to Hezbollah, those are people that the U.S. don't like. Do they ever try to plan attacks on us?
Yeah, I mean, we've had problems with them before for sure. They've been behind some terrorist attacks for sure. But keep in mind that Hezbollah was created in 1982 because of Israel, because Israel was being aggressive towards Lebanon and they had invaded. So they were created in 82 to fight the Israeli occupation because the Israelis, bro, bully everybody in this region.
Okay, where does ISIS come out of? Because I also saw a report that they just came out with saying that the FBI foiled a potential attack from ISIS that was supposed to be on U.S. soil. Did you see that?
Yeah. So, look,
where the fuck is ISIS
This is where you can... ISIS, man, I think it's kind of it's a homegrown Western situation, man, because I find it interesting how these ISIS guys, never attack Israelis.
So ISIS, I thought ISIS was based out of Afghanistan or some shit like that.
No, it was based out of Syria for a while because there was so many. The conflict in Syria is kind of what led to it, and Syria has a very complex war situation. They're under new leadership now after the fall of Hezbollah, but that's a whole other story in itself. But the bottom line is this: Iran is the main entity that stands between Israel's way and complete influence and power across the Middle East. And Israel needs Iran out of the way, and they want a regime change. And for them to get the regime change, they're going to need to decapitate the current regime with the Ayatollah. And that is why they're prepping to do another conflict, another war. And I think that these protests that they got going on right now in Iran are step one towards the process. And then I predict sometime for Q1, I wouldn't be surprised if Israel didn't launch another attack against Iran. They had to end the last war because Iran was absolutely starting to fuck them up, and Israel only has so many interceptor missiles, so they would not be able to keep up defending themselves from the Iranian missiles because the Iron Dome only has so many interceptor missiles and the David Sling and the Arrow. So that's kind of why we've had a little bit more time in between the conflict. Israel had to restock their interceptor missiles and then make sure they got everything right on the ground with disruptors and running the coup and everything else like that. But I think with this next war, it's going to be do or die for both countries.
Okay, and one of my final questions is really this. Okay, so, all right, I kind of now understand this as you've explained it geographically, right? Like, okay, here's this region. They're resourceful or not resource. They're funded. U.S. They have definitely some heavy resources in being able to wage war against the rest of the region. So despite them being small, they're kind of swinging their dick around a little bit. Iran, they're kind of putting up, some resistance, but they're also doing it through kind of like these other entities that's almost damn near surrounded Israel, right?
And all those entities, it's important. The reason why they want to attack Iran so bad now is because these other entities are weakened. So Syria, for example, Syria fell, and it was being run by this guy, right? Bashar al-Assad. He was the president, right, of Syria. This guy was critical for the Axis because what would happen was Hezbollah is the most competent military paramilitary that fights Israel. They fought them many different times, 2006, 1982. They fought them again in 2024, right? And they're the only ones that have really been able to beat the IDF up quite a bit. So, but the reason why Syria is so critical is because Iran would basically get weapons, supply, support, and they move these through Iraq into Syria, destined for Lebanon, right? Once there was a ceasefire between the IDF and Hezbollah, what happened was this triggered a invasion, and this invasion was conducted by this guy right here. Let me duplicate this real fast. Ahmed al-Shara, right? So Ahmed al-Shara is the current president of Syria. What he basically did was once that ceasefire was done and Hezbollah was weakened alongside Hamas and everybody else, he basically launched a revolution, and he was in the Idlib province, right here in Syria, right here, right? He was here. He went and he took Aleppo, which is a very strategic location in Syria, one of their bigger cities. Then he worked his way all the way down to Damascus, and basically they took over Syria in a couple of weeks. And what happened was Bashar al-Assad had to flee to Russia, and he's currently in Russia right now in asylum. And Ahmed al-Shara, a.k.a. al-Jalani, this guy used to be in fucking Al-Qaeda, by the way, back in the day. He now is the
he was in
president of
Al-Qaeda?
Yeah, this dude used to be in Al-Qaeda. He was at the White House not too long ago, too. Kind of funny.
Wait, what? Nah,
Yeah.
we ain't cool with no niggas from Al-Qaeda now.
Yeah, bro. Al-Qaeda, I'm not getting her out, bro. He left in 2016, but yeah. So basically, since Syria fell, Hezbollah's weakened, the Houthis have kind of been kept at bay. The last thing left is Iran now. All of their proxies have been weakened significantly. So this is why Israel is in such a rush to attack Iran now while the axis of resistance is weakened.
Okay. All right.
If that makes sense.
Okay. It does make sense. So now
I'm throwing a lot at you here, bro. So let me know.
Hold
if
on.
you
I'm definitely getting it. So the last thing that I feel like, and maybe it's important, maybe it's not, in me trying to understand all this conflict and turmoil going on in this region, how does religion play into this? Because all right, Israel, they're Judaism, right? So they're Jewish guys, right? And then Iraq, Iran, Saudi Arabia, they're Muslim dudes, right?
Yes.
Okay. Again, religion always matters. Sometimes, hey, listen, if I'm going to my church and you got your mosque over there and the synagogue, we know religion really matters a lot. How much of this is maybe the Muslim dude saying, man, get these Judaism niggas out of here, versus maybe Israel also saying, well, we're trying to spread what we got going on to maybe influence some of the regions you guys have. Is that a thing or no?
Yeah, so I could talk about how religion plays a role. Religion plays a role because, so for example, right, a lot of people don't know this. When Hamas invaded Israel, right, from the Gaza Strip, the name of their operation was actually called Al-Aqsa Flood, right? And the reason why they called it Al-Aqsa Flood is after this mosque right here. And basically, what was going on, there's three main reasons Hamas invaded Israel. One reason was because of the occupation, right? That Israel holds on to Gaza and they occupy them in the West Bank as well. and they kill Palestinians all the time, right? That's one reason. The second reason was because the Abraham Accords. The Abraham Accords are an agreement basically between Israel, the United States, and other Muslim countries that recognize, hold on, I'll show you right here, that recognize Israel. A lot of these Muslim countries don't recognize Israel as a state ever since, 1967.
Really?
And the Abraham Accords have been bringing in Muslim countries to recognize Israel. Now, the problem is that Israel's been trying to play the sly game where they try to get recognized by these Muslim countries without answering the Palestinian question. And before October 7th happened, Israel was supposed to meet with Saudi Arabia. And they were talking about potentially getting Saudi Arabia into the Abraham Accords. Now, the reason why this is a problem is because Saudi Arabia has an enormous amount of influence in the Middle East because it has obviously Medina, Mecca, etc. So if Saudi Arabia was to ever join Abraham Accords, right, or even think about it without answering the Palestinian question, they knew that their fate would be sealed and they'd have to be occupied by the Israelis forever. So number one, Abraham Accords. Number two, the occupation. Number three, which is the religious one to answer your question, was the Al-Aqsa Mosque. So what the Israelis have been doing, and the Jews in that area, is they're trying to bring about their Messiah. And the way that they're going to do this is they need to slaughter these five red cows.
Wait, hold on. Excuse me? They try to do what?
They're trying to bring about the return of their Messiah. Or sorry, they're trying to bring their Messiah. Yeah, I know. It's crazy shit. Without me getting too much into the theology and the lore, basically they want to destroy the Al-Aqsa Mosque and rebuild the temple and slaughter 5 red cows. It's in their theology to bring their Messiah. And Hamas, a guy named Abu
this
Ubaidah,
sounds like some Game of Thrones shit. Wait, they're
Yeah.
trying to bring back the Messiah. They want to slaughter some cows and destroy like something and build some other shit to like.
They want to destroy the Al-Aqsa Mosque to rebuild the temple. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that played a big part into why Hamas invaded, and that's why they called it Operation Al-Aqsa Flood, was because they're trying to protect the mosque from being destroyed by the Israelis, because there's a radical Jewish organization called the Temple Institute who's been spending a lot of money building this temple and getting prepared to build the temple, and this mosque is like the third holiest site or the second holiest site in the Islamic faith, and the infrastructure of it is starting to cave in on itself.
Wait,
and the
hold on.
Israelis are now fixing it.
Wait, where is this place at?
It's in Jerusalem.
Okay, so this is in Israel. And,
Yes, it's in Israel, yeah.
And all of Israel's ops wants to destroy this thing, right?
Israel wants to destroy the mosque.
Oh,
the
why don't
Muslim
they
world
destroy
does not
it?
want them to destroy it. They want to destroy it so they can rebuild the temple that was destroyed under King Solomon.
Okay, why don't they just destroy it? Like, I mean, we dropped bombs in Venezuela. Like, why is this thing like still standing?
Because the Muslim world would go crazy if they destroyed it.
So
they've been trying to do it.
So the Muslim world, what do you mean? Like, so if Israel just fucking drops a drone strike and boom, gone, what's the problem?
The Muslim world would lose their mind, and they'd all pull out they'd all pull out, probably more than likely to pull out the Abraham Accords, and there would be problems. They would be invaded, and it would create a geopolitical nightmare for the Israelis in the United States. So, but what they've been doing is they've been secretly building the temple. They bought 5 cows in the United States secretly. They moved them over to Israel.
Wait, 5? You said cow, like COW?
Yeah, 5 red cattle. Yep, 5 red cows.
Like, we're talking about like the same shit that
like
like oxtail.
Yeah, like moo. Yeah, like cows. Like niggas really bought 5 red cows from Texas and moved them over to Israel for this ritual.
Really? Yo, this is some serious shit.
I know, this is some crazy shit. I know, bro. It's like, what the hell? But yeah, so this was actually a big. So there's a guy named Abu Ubaidah. This dude right here, right? I'm really giving y'all the lore right now. So this guy Abu Ubaidah, right?
And by the way, let me say this.
Yeah.
Yo, as time goes on, especially like I think hip hop is, I do love hip hop and I love culture, but I've realized in the last 6 months the real drama is politics and a lot of this stuff that's really bigger than just hip hop. If someone made all this shit like really like bite-sized understandable for the layman's, like somebody needs to do the war in Chirac globally. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, people didn't know what was going on in Chicago. I took Chicago and said, hey, even if you're a fucking idiot from Oklahoma, this is what's going on. These guys versus these guys, da-da-da. Very simple. I'm showing you things that obviously, tragedies, of course, but there's an entertainment aspect to it that people buy into it. Because as you're even explaining this shit to me, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? But
That's a lot, bro.
Most people are ignorant to what's going on here, right? And I'm wondering why, like, outlets don't kind of do that to relate to the regular person. The regular person just care about drama. They don't care what it is. But
to answer
anything that seems too complicated, they check out.
Yeah, and I'm trying to explain this because this is a very complex, conflict right now. But to answer it quickly, there's geopolitical reasons why the conflict is going on in Israel and Hamas and these Muslim countries. And then there's obviously theology. So this guy, Abu Ubaidah, he was the spokesperson for Hamas for a very long time. He was the dude that would be on the videos with the mask on. It's interesting that they have his actual face here. But what happened was he talked about the Red Heifers being moved from the United States to Israel. That was a big provocation because they want to bring about the destruction of the Al-Aqsa Mosque and then rebuild the temple. Then he talked about the occupation, and then he also talked about the Abraham Accords, expanding the Abraham Accords without answering the Palestine question. Those are the three chief reasons why Hamas invaded Israel on October 7th. There's other reasons too, but those are the top three, I would say.
And by the way, have you ever watched the Netflix series? Well, I'm calling Netflix because I'm watching on Netflix. You ever watch Homeland?
I have watched Homeland before, yeah.
There's a nigga in there named Abu Nazir. I ain't gonna lie to you. I remember like that nigga's a demon. but I ain't gonna lie to you. I've been watching Homeland, and then I've been using my brain to figure out. I'm like, okay, how do you figure out? Because at first I was kind of like disinterested because I'm like, if it's not in the United States, I really don't give a fuck what's going on in these other countries. I really don't. Listen, I'm from Jamaica, and listen, I came to America. I love Jamaica. Listen, I'm donating for the hurricane. Cool, that's all good. But I live in the United States of America. All y'all other countries, good fucking luck. We're here. But when you get to understand how everything kind of like all meshes and it all kind of relies on each other, it's like a really interesting, but like very also, you have to navigate it really carefully, right?
Yeah, and look, this topic, bro, before October 7th and us seeing the genocide that went down in Gaza, this was a very forbidden topic to talk about because all of our Middle Eastern foreign policy, when you look at it, whether it was the war in Iraq, the war on terror, all this other stuff, it was really only to benefit Israel. Like, Israel runs our foreign policy when it comes to the Middle East. We attack all of their enemies. So, and it's what's kept us in forever wars all across the Middle East. And the reason for that is because we have an enormous amount of Israeli influence and Zionists that are in power in the United States that have influential positions in politics, in the government, in tech, in finance,
I feel like I'm going to ask you a rhetorical question. Yeah. But I'm going to ask you, I'm going to also request that you give, because, I do watch you, obviously when I'm not on stream and shit like that, but I want you to give a layman's term answer, not a Myron talking to my audience answer. Okay? Here's the question. So I understand a little bit of this association, USA, Israel, right? Mm-hmm. There is, I kind of understand like, all right, you know what? We might need to use these people or they need to use us, whatever. But we have some aligned interests in that region. Here's the question, and I want you to answer it on a that everybody can understand. Do you think that it's us that is using Israel versus Israel using us? Because there's a way that I look at this and say, hey, if we want to have power in this region, the only people that would be aligned with our interests are the people who ain't a Muslim country, Israel, and who basically needs us, Israel. So if I'm thinking that we could use Israel to be pretty much almost like this kind of, hey, yeah, we're not beefing with you, but we could also support them, this and third, but as long as we use, they're the proxy of all our interests. Now, there's the other thinking, and I think maybe listen to you and sometimes even Nick and a couple other people, you guys kind of put out the other way of thinking, which is it's Israel that has all the control and they use us. And I'm even saying we got 400 million people. Israel got 10 million. How the fuck does 10 million people control 400 million? But I would want you to explain it, and I want you to explain it on a very broad level, because if you get into the nuance, and I know you can, you're going to lose me and probably many of my audience in trying to understand that.
I'll sum it up for you. Zionist Jews run America. And the reason why how Zionist Jews run America is because they're in pivotal and high positions of power in every main infrastructure of U.S. society, whether it's in politics, big tech, finance, media, AI now. They have overrepresentation in all of our most elite institutions, and they use that representation for their own benefit of Israel. And it's not just American Zionist Jews.
Hold on.
There's Australians,
hold on,
etc.
Because you just made a point. So I want to ask this question. So when what you just mentioned, what I think is capitalism, right? And like it's, for example, if we get into certain businesses or certain realms of businesses, we might be like, oh, the Chinese are very dominant in those areas, or maybe the people who are of Indian descent. Okay, I get what you're saying, that people who are Jewish are whatever really important in these areas, but how does that connect to politics? So let's say maybe there's a lot of Jewish representation when it comes to media or whatever else. How does that connect to politics and geopolitical strategy, which usually involves governments at a high level? That's where we're trying to connect it.
Yeah, so there's lobbying organizations in America. AIPAC is the most famous one. And
I've heard that before.
Lobbying
I've heard that.
Go ahead.
Explain AIPAC. You got to explain to me.
It's basically, here, I'll show you right now. Let me show you how brazen these dudes are. Because I could say one thing, but if I show you, you're going to be like, what the hell? So if I go to Google, right?
Okay.
And I type in AIPAC.
Oh, could you explain what it, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so it's basically a national movement of pro-Israel Americans. It's a lobbying organization, right, that ensures that American politicians that get elected have Israel interests in mind, right? And if you go to their website here, let's see if they took it off or not. Look at this. We stand with those who stand with Israel. The AIPAC PAC is a bipartisan pro-Israel political action committee. It is the largest pro-Israel PAC in America and contributed to more resources directly to candidates than any other PAC. Look at this. They don't even hide it. 96% of AIPAC-backed candidates won their general election races in 2024. So in other words, whether you're Republican or Democrat, if you are not pro-Israel, it's going to be very difficult for you to actually become a politician of any real consequence in the United States.
Wow.
And the interesting thing is AIPAC doesn't have to register under something called FARA, or the Foreign Agent Registration Act. They're the only country that doesn't have to do that. Every other country does.
Really?
Yeah. This is what got JFK and his brother killed. But that's a whole other, rabbit hole.
AIPAC.
But this is just one lobby. There's hundreds of these organizations.
Okay, so all right. Keep connecting the dots for me. So let's say I'm a Jewish guy who is really big and important in the movie industry. Why do I care about this? Obviously I'm making billions of dollars because I run the movie, or let's say music industry. Because again, you gotta, like, when I hear people, and I've heard you kind of like connect the power that maybe some industries that are, we could say, overrepresented by Jewish people.
Yeah.
How does that connect to politics, though? Because are these the people funding it? Like, so are you saying that the guy who owns the music business or who owns the biggest labels, they're the one who's saying, hey, I'm going to take the billions I'm earning and I'm going to give it to pro-Israel things? Is that what you're telling me? Or no?
So I'll give you an example right now, right? So you look at this woman here, Miriam Adelson, right?
Who is this?
This woman is like the biggest donor to the Republican Party. Her and her husband, Sheldon Adelson, who passed away.
Wait. She's the biggest donor?
Yeah, the Adelsons are the biggest donors in the Republican Party, yeah.
How'd she get her money?
So she gave Trump $100 million on his last run.
Really?
Right? Yeah. And, this is just one of the donors. There's many very wealthy pro-Israel Zionist donors that fund campaigns, and that money's not coming for free. They want you to, they give you that money. Hey, we want you to win your election. But when you do your policy, when you do your foreign policy, you need to make sure it's pro-Israel. And that's kind of the money always comes with, expectations attached.
So do you have any proof that it's actually, that type of just straight up arrangement? Like, hey, listen, I'm not giving you this money just because I'm nice. You need to be pro, what we got going on.
Yeah. I mean, the Zionist donors, they always say, hey, you need to be pro-Israel. We're only going to donate to candidates that are pro-Israel. And Miriam Adelson is one of the big ones, but there's more.
Did she donate to Kamala?
No, she donates to the Republican Party, but there's Democrat donors too, I'm sure, like George Soros and shit like that. So
and they all align
Bill
with
Ackman.
They all align with Israel influence stuff?
Yeah, so I'll give an example. Let's use Bill Ackman, right? This dude right here.
I've heard that name before. Who is he?
Yeah, so Bill Ackman, right? This guy's a lifelong Democrat, right? And he's donated to the Clinton campaign, etc. But guess who voted for in the last election? He voted for Trump. Why? Because he knew that Trump would be far more pro-Israel and more aggressive in Israel's current civil war front. So he switched from a Democrat basically to a Republican to put Trump in. And this is what I mean when I say we got very powerful Zionist Jews that live in America whose number one priority is Israel. They'll sit there and they'll say, oh, I'm American. But when you look at their voting record, they're Israel first.
Hold on.
Shapiro, this guy, etc. Like, that's what they care about.
Why, though? So again...
Why? Because they have a very deep affinity to... So the important thing to understand is, like, the Jewish people have been persecuted for a very long time. They've been kicked out of many different societies. They've been ostracized from many different societies. So they never really had a home. So once they got the state of Israel in 1948, they said, we're holding on to this for dear life. We're not letting this slip our hands. So this is why Jews from different places, whether it's America, England, Australia, New Zealand, they all have a very strong affinity to the state of Israel because it's the Jewish homeland, it's the Jewish state in their mind. So no matter where they are, they're going to donate and support the Zionist cause.
Okay, it's making a little bit of sense. So you're telling me these guys take their money that they earn from capitalism and they're funding Jewish,
Yeah, they fund Zionism. Yeah, they support Israel. They fund candidates. Like this guy, Bill Ackman, spent millions of dollars to make sure that Mamdani lost. He failed, but he was trying to keep Mamdani from becoming the mayor of New York City because he wasn't pro-Israel enough.
So isn't Mamdani like some Muslim guy? He's a Muslim guy who runs New York City now, right?
Yeah, he is. But like the thing is that
but that's New York City. Why would he give a fuck? Like New York City got nothing to do with goddamn whatever that's going on in Israel.
That just goes to show, bro, that this is why this is what I mean when I say like even from the mayor of New York, like they want their tentacles in every level of government. Like there's a woman named Cori Bush, right? This chick right here. Let me see if I spell this right. Cori Bush. Yeah, so she was a politician, right? This chick was out of fucking New Orleans, dude, if I'm not mistaken.
Yo, cut it out, Myron. She's black. She ain't with none of that bullshit you talking about right now. She's black.
No. So hear me out.
You bring some hot sauce, some gumbo. She don't give a fuck about Israel or nothing going on. Look at her.
She doesn't, but that's exactly what got her jammed up.
You give her some Skims, pretty little thing, discount code. You give her some hair glue and she's lit. Stop it. She don't give a fuck what they got going on in Tel Aviv. What the hell?
Yeah, but you gotta look, bro. What happened was she got voted out because the pro-Israel lobby spent millions of dollars to get her out.
Really?
Right, as the representative.
Oh.
Because she was pro-Israel. Sorry, because she was calling the genocide a genocide, and they don't like that. So they said, oh, you know what? You're out of St. Louis. We don't even have that many Jews here, but it doesn't matter. We don't want you being a representative. And they got her the fuck up out of here.
Wait, who won? Who was the person who beat her? Oh,
they
Wesley
funded
Bell?
her opposition who was more pro-Israel. I forget who the guy was that she lost to. But he was pro-Israel, so they funded him. And that's what I mean when I say these Israel lobbying groups, bro, are on some bullshit. You know, like they literally, if you don't support Israel, they will get you out of office.
I'm going to ask a question. It might sound dumb, too. When I hear about money throughout the world or throughout the diaspora of just, globally, period, people always say oil money is the most. And we usually identify that with Muslim countries. how the hell does Israel have like a money glitch? That's the question. How Israel got a money glitch, but Iran, Iraq, well, no, I don't know about yes, but like these countries that are oil rich and have way more real estate, how, and like Saudi, like why does Saudi Arabia, which like, when I think about that, I think about opulence, why don't they use their money glitch to fight against Israel money glitch? Because Israel can't have that much money, right?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that obviously you got a lot of wealthy donors that are supporters of, remember the Rothschilds, like, were the big ones that created this. They basically created the state of Israel, the Rothschilds.
Rothschilds?
Right, with the Balfour Declaration.
Really?
Yeah, the Rothschilds are Jewish.
And they funded that.
Yeah, with the Balfour Declaration. So if you look at the Balfour Declaration here, this right here, this document, right, it was written, Dear Lord Rothschild, and this was basically, that led to the creation of Israel later on. The Rothschilds are actually on Israeli currency.
Really?
Yeah, bro. So like, there's a lot of money in Israel.
I feel like I'm getting like a 4-year education in this shit right now.
Yeah, like, and they don't teach this in school for obvious reasons, unfortunately.
So the Rothschilds, like, because I've heard that name a lot, they're aligned with Jewish interests, and they are integral in the support and creation of Israel.
Yeah, they were instrumental to the creation of Israel. Instrumental.
Holy shit!
They were the ones that were able to get this declaration, and that led to the creation of Israel in 1948.
Hey, by the way, I see a lot of people in my chat saying, "Yo, Ak, you're good at playing dumb." Bro, why the fuck would I know about what the fuck going on in Israel, bro? Hell no. So again, obviously, I think now
and this is censored stuff, bro. A lot of people don't even want people to know this type of stuff. Like you couldn't talk about this stuff like 2 years ago, bro. Now with what happened with Gaza, now it's open, for discussion a bit. But this is something that's been censored. You talk about 9/11, USS Liberty, JFK, RFK, Balfour Declaration. You get into any of this stuff, bro. You start getting into. This is why I'm demonetized. This topic right here. It's safe to talk about it now, but before, like, it was like a off-limit topic.
Wait, well, is it just talking about the topic, or were you like, going hard against the people of?
Well, it's both. It's both.
Okay.
Like, but even talking about it would get you jammed up, bro.
Oh,
like
really?
Before October 7th, yeah, bro. If you talked about any of this stuff before October 7th, it was an automatic ban.
This all looks like it would make for a great Netflix series and explain it to like the regular Joe like me.
Yeah, no, man, it's a lot, dude. And I know I threw like it's like drinking out of a fire hose. Pause. But dude, it's a lot of when you actually connect the dots and you figure out who runs this country. Yeah. It starts to become, you just can't unsee it. It's absolutely nuts.
Okay.
Some people say, "Oh, you're obsessed or you're a hater," but it's the truth, bro. Like, this country is run by Zionist Jews. It is what it is.
I'm gonna ask a question. It might be stupid as well, but so
no, man, no dumb questions.
When it comes to Palestine, if we just took over Venezuela and captured their leader in like 55 minutes, why isn't Palestine like? Yo, Palestine's like Miami Beach. Like, how the hell can they get? Yo, wait, show me Palestine. Like, Palestine's like Miami Beach.
You got the Gaza Strip right here.
Yo, that's like Miami Beach. Like, how the hell? Like, they have like a war of like 100 years. Like, what's taking so long?
Well, there's a lot of people that live in Gaza, bro. It's like one of the most densely populated areas in the world. It's like 2 million plus.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's why so many people are dead, bro. And look, they're estimating the casualties at around 70,000. But in a couple of years, when they pull all those bodies out of the rubble and count all the missing people, we're going to see easily somewhere between 100 to 600,000 dead. Easy. The Israelis completely leveled Gaza, bro. It's bad.
Wait. So do they build stuff there, or they only like drop bombs there?
They were just dropping bombs there, and now the place is like complete. Like 90% of the infrastructure of Gaza is like gone.
So what's the point of living there?
That's the point. They're trying to make it uninhabitable to get them out of there.
So who supports?
Let me see if I get a Gaza before and after picture for you.
Oh, there's the before and after? Wait.
No, I'm going to get you a picture right now of Gaza, what it looked like before. Gaza before and after. Bro, it's nuts. Like, if you click the images, like, look, on the satellite, this is what it was before. That's what it is, like, completely leveled.
It's some real shit?
Yeah, man. It's bad, bro. Like, it's literally like, like they completely destroyed this place, bro. It's leveled.
So right there where we're looking at, that was before and after?
Yeah. 2 years of relentless bombing.
Wow.
Yeah, and they were indiscriminately bombing everywhere, bro. They were killing people, and tens of thousands of kids. I think easily a couple 100,000 plus kids.
Do they
have probably
do
been killed.
what the United States? Well, I would imagine we do, or we try to do. Like, for example, I was saying with Venezuela, I'm like, yo, Venezuela got some bad bitches. I'm gonna be tight to Trump if he bombed the bad bitches. He can't bomb the BBL spot. Like, what the hell? Like, nigga, like, if bomb trendy Aragua, bomb them wherever the fuck they at. Bomb. But so usually I think about like military operations where it's like you're not bombing Times Square. You're gonna bomb maybe a place or strategic location that you think maybe a army, like even let's say Pearl Harbor, right? Like, Pearl Harbor was still like, it was an attack on supposedly a strategic location, right? It wasn't like, yo, downtown Cleveland. You know what I mean? Y'all niggas think y'all partying tonight? No, it's a bomb. That's not what it is. And I think everyone just across the globe would just frown upon that. Like, if you just if you bombed motherfucking, is it Hong Kong or Shanghai? Whatever the fuck the main thing is in China where you have civilians just hanging out, living their life, the main city. If you dropped a fucking nuke right there, people be like, yo, you're fucking disgusting. Like, you just killed a bunch of innocent kids.
And
right?
that's the problem, is that Israel basically bombed Gaza indiscriminately and nobody cares. And the reason why is because the United States runs cover for Israel. Like, they just literally got done doing a genocide, bro. Like, every human rights organization has identified what they did in Gaza as a genocide. And, Netanyahu's literally in the Mar-a-Lago chilling with Trump on New Year's Eve. Like, that's the kind of protection that the Israelis get. No other country would be able to operate like that, ever. And it's because they have so much control of American policy, and we have overrepresentation of Zionist Jews in positions of power in the United States. They run the Ivy League schools, they run the media, they run politics, everything, dude.
I try to, I treat the Middle East, or I wish I could, right? Where like I treat what they say about Philly. They say stay out of Philly business. I try to stay out of Middle Eastern business, but it looked like the United States and shit. I'm a United States citizen. It got to be a difficult thing though, and not defending Israel or I really have no horse in the race. I give two fucks about either of them.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, they beefing with these people in Palestine or whatever, and these people, like, they don't have a fucking military base, so to speak.
No, Hamas is like a very,
decentralized like group, right?
They don't have shit. No, they don't have shit.
Okay,
Hamas.
so they're hanging with these civilians. So I guess like Israel's thing is, we ain't trying to kill kids, but like, yo, if you in the car, everybody getting Swiss cheese. That's why this is happening, right? Whereas like, hey, we can't fight these motherfuckers because we don't, like, they're blending in with civilians and they're in civilian places. So if we're attacking them, there's a couple of casualties of war. But, yo, y'all got to get mad at these Hamas niggas to say, yo, go create some military bases over there, separate from us, let us live our regular life, and that when y'all need to get bombed, y'all get bombed over there and we get left alone. What about that?
Well, so the reason why that doesn't work is because, and the Israelis, this is one of their talking points. They say, all the time, oh, Hamas is hiding behind the civilians. They're using them as human shields. They're hiding in the tunnels as people get bombed above. Well, if Hamas is hiding under the tunnels, why are you indiscriminately bombing the entire area to destroy it? And the reason why is because what we discussed before. I think the strategy here was to destroy Gaza, make it uninhabitable, and then move these people to somewhere else, because that's some prime real estate. If you look at Gaza, it's actually very beautiful. And I'll show you, it's like literally beachfront property.
Really?
Right? We're talking about, Gaza Beach, right? That's like prime real estate right there. So this can be, another Dubai damn near, where they can make a bunch of money on it. So I think they destroyed it to make it uninhabitable, get those people out, and then turn it into a huge tourist destination to compete with Dubai and other places. Like, the Middle East is starting to realize that the evolution of electric cars is upon us. Oil might not be as necessary or as necessary. So they need to find other ways to earn. And what a lot of countries in the Middle East, like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, whatever, like, they're trying to open up and become more tourist friendly towards the West. And people have seen how Dubai has really been able to expand as a global city. So the Saudi Arabia has kind of like released some of their, typical laws and customs. They've allowed alcohol to come in. They've started creating nightclubs. I predict that with Gaza, they're like, hey, we want to cash in on some of this too. We got some prime real estate here right on the beach. Let's go ahead and take this thing over. And Trump fucked up because back in March, when Netanyahu did his first, not his first, but like his second or third visit to the United States, to talk about tariffs, Trump slipped up and said, oh yeah, we're going to take Gaza, we're going to cherish it. And everyone's like, what? Under what authority are you going to take Gaza? He's like, oh, we're just going to take it. And he kind of let the mask slip there because that was a plan the whole time. Destroy the infrastructure, make it uninhabitable, move them out of there, and then turn this thing into a beachfront property and make a bunch of money.
So why don't they do some shit like how we got ICE over here? Send ICE over there, man. Be like, yo, listen, man, y'all niggas gotta get over. And by the way, I'm looking at the map now. So Gaza is against the water, and then it's right there by Israel. There's not even like some Muslim state like right there by it, right? So
there's, I mean,
strategically,
right
it's not good for the Muslim dudes, which is the Palestinians, right? Like, why the hell would you want to be there?
In Gaza now?
I mean, I'm just looking at the map. Like, so Israel, they're Jews.
Yeah, there's some Muslims that live there too. They got like 2 million Arabs.
But hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's not like a huge Muslim state to kind of support them. So if they're going against Israel, their back is to the wall. It's water. It's not like they have like geographically like some
I see
allies.
what you're saying. They're occupied, bro. They can't go anywhere. Like they can't leave the Gaza Strip. They can't leave. They're completely occupied.
So if the Palestinians or whatever was like, I bet, let's do like a treaty, right?
Yeah.
Give us like a part that's closer to the other Muslim niggas. Like give us a part of Israel over there, and we'll just all move that way. Like y'all get this way, we get that way. And
you're talking about like a two-state solution. That's what they tried to do, but it never happened because the current Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, he's done everything in his power to ensure that they don't have a two-state solution. There was a deal that they struck, something called, I'll show you right here, the Oslo Accords, right? This was struck back in the 90s under Bill Clinton, right? And this was the closest we ever came to a two-state solution. But guess what happened? This guy, Yitzhak Rabin, got assassinated by a far-right member of the Likud party, which is the party that Netanyahu was a part of. And then obviously Yasser Arafat he died. They said he died of food poisoning or some shit, but that's a lie. I think he got poisoned. But either way, both of these guys, had signed the Oslo Accords, and that was going to be the beginning of potentially trying to get a two-state solution going, but it never came to fruition. And this guy, Benjamin Netanyahu, has done everything in his power to stop it. And I would argue that's a big reason why Yitzhak Rabin got assassinated was because of the Oslo Accords.
Hey,
but that was supposed to be the closest we ever got to it.
So I see Bill Clinton there, like, so the U.S. has always played like babysitter with this bullshit beef, right?
They've tried, but we always, give.
Where's
Israel
the UK niggas at? Like, yo, bring one of them tea sipping motherfuckers to like. Why the U.S. got to be like trying to help these motherfuckers shake hands and shit?
Well, the thing is that we try to get in and broker peace, but the reality is that the Zionist lobby is too powerful in America, and we always end up conceding to whatever Israel wants.
Why doesn't Russia give a fuck about this?
About Israel-Palestine or about?
Yeah, that area. Like, I don't see China like, oh, we need to. I think China's like, fuck y'all, all of y'all.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to Russia, I mean, they do have some shared interest in the region. I mean, they were supporting Bashar al-Assad for a very long time, keeping him in power. That was the only reason he was still able to stay. But once he ran out of there, Russia couldn't come in to defend him because they had their hands tied up with Russia-Ukraine. So they couldn't give them their air power that they're normally given. That's how Bashar al-Assad's been able to kind of stave off all these rebels. But that's why everything worked out perfectly for the Israelis, because the Israelis went hard on Lebanon, destabilized them, killed Hassan Nasrallah, did the Patriot attack. Then they did a ceasefire that triggered Ahmed al-Shara to lead his revolution and take over Syria. And now Syria is being run by Ahmed al-Shara, who's way more friendly to the United States and Israel because he wants to get the sanctions taken off of Israel. So everything has worked perfectly for the Israelis, and the only objective left now at this point is Iran, because all their other enemies have been significantly weakened. And this is why they're under so much pressure to get the job done with Iran now.
So if we fuck Iran up, mission accomplished. Wow.
For Israel, yeah. It'll benefit them way more than us. I don't think we really get any benefit from destabilizing Iran. If anything, I think it creates more problems. That's what happened with Iraq. We thought getting Saddam Hussein out would help us, and it didn't. And Iraq to this day still hasn't recovered.
Well, that's crazy. Yo, listen, Myron, you just given me, I feel like, a world history and a geopolitical crash course on what's going on. Because genuinely, I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like, I hate when people say, they're pro-Israel or free Palestine. I don't give a fuck about none of them. Like, that's a fact. Yo, I don't give a fuck about none of them. Yo, you know what? Yo, I'm on some, I wish they would do some Soulja Boy shit. I wish both of them meet up and die. whoever win, we'll rock with y'all. We don't give two fucks. Like, I don't care. But I'm now starting to see, like, it's a really interesting game where there's been a lot of investments and a lot of people who are kind of betting on particular sides. So you can't really, like, I wish we had the approach of, listen, we don't care who want to beef in the world. Whoever, y'all meet up and die, and who wins, we gonna fuck with the winner. That's it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would say, like, the reason why it's important, right, is because we give Israel a lot of their money and their support and their aid. We give them billions of dollars a year. They're the #1 recipient of foreign aid. And the problem here is that our tax dollars is what's being used to drop bombs on kids. So, like, now we're complicit in this genocide in Gaza because we armed them with the bombs to do it. Israel relies heavily upon us because not only is Israel able to do whatever they want in the region, no one retaliates because they're scared of the U.S. getting involved. So, like, Israel's like the bully on the block where they're able to hit you, and then they go running to their big brother knowing that if they hit Israel back, we're going to hit them.
Okay. And last thing, and chat, I promise, this is our, well, first one is late night. So it's like, by the way, chat, all my, like, hip-hop topics, we're going to get to tomorrow for the most part. Like, this is like a late night stream. It's 5 o'clock, y'all. Relax. Hey, okay, so I just Googled it. It says countries that receive the most foreign aid from the United States. I'm going to name the countries and just, like, on maybe a couple, just real quick, just tell me why they benefit us, right? Because I'm wondering why are we giving these motherfuckers all this goddamn money. Sure. Israel, they got $300 billion. Goddamn. Well, we just talked about it, right? Israel. Egypt, why the fuck we giving Egypt $200 billion?
We pay them to play nice with, so basically it's because of this right here. So it's called the, is it Egypt. Oh my God, I'm losing Egypt-Israel deal accord. What's the name of it? Yeah, Camp David Accord. I'm sorry. Yeah. So the Camp David Accords, basically back in the 1970s, Jimmy Carter, Anwar Sadat, and Menachem Begin signed a deal in 1978 where Israel would recognize, Egypt would recognize Israel, and in exchange, we would give them a bunch of money. So we basically bribe Egypt to play nice. And,
they're the first Arab state to recognize Israel. Let me ask you a question. Why doesn't?
You want to know something interesting too? Yeah. This guy Menachem Begin, this guy right here, bro. This dude is a fucking terrorist, bro. This nigga literally, he bombed the hotel, the King David bombing hotel. He masterminded that. They killed 100 people, and he ended up becoming the prime minister of Israel. Bro was a legit terrorist with the air gun.
Why don't other Arab states say, yo, Egypt?
Or sorry, Haganah.
Why don't other Arab states say, Egypt, we gonna fuck you up if you keep, like, even respecting these motherfuckers over there? You get what I'm saying?
Well, you're saying why
like,
would we
if I'm
fuck up?
Iran, right? Like, you don't, clearly no one wants to fuck with the United States. Get it, right? Israel is supported by the United States, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So why not just make sure, Egypt, if you're going to be like an Arab state, you can't fuck with the U.S. or Israel, or we're going to beef with you. It's like it's like slapping a nigga that's laughing at the, something happened, and rather than fighting the person you need to fight, the nigga who's videoing it and laughing at it, you start fighting him. All right, we're going to beef with you.
This is a big reason why Anwar Sadat actually got assassinated.
Who's this?
Like the Anwar Sadat, the Egyptian, basically the Egyptian leader that signed the Camp David Accords, which recognized Israel.
Yeah.
That was a part of the reason why he got assassinated. Because the Arab world doesn't want to accept Israel because of what they've done to the Palestinians.
Oh, all right. So who supposedly killed the Egyptian dude?
Let me look this up. Actually, let's see here. Who killed him? Succeeded by. I'm looking here. But I know for a fact that they were not happy about these Camp David Accords because Egypt used to be kind of the leader because Egypt like back in the 70s was what Iran is now to Israel. Like they were the top ops in the 60s and the 70s, Egypt.
Really?
So yeah, these Camp David Accords, they looked at it like as a huge betrayal. And then shaking hands with, Menachem Begin, who literally is a terrorist, right, that killed, thousands of Palestinians, they looked at it as a huge betrayal. And that was a part of the reason why he was very unpopular and got assassinated. But yeah, here we go. Last month's the presidency, internal uprising. And that's another thing, too, about ththese Muslim countries, bro, and these Arab countries. If you're not a dictator, bro, or like a king, niggas are going to come and kill you, bro. Arabs are hard-headed, man. Like, it is what it is. I could say that as a fellow Arab myself. Is like, bro, you got to rule these niggas with iron fist, man. So, but yeah.
That's interesting.
So he was assassinated at the peak of his unpopularity. A big part of his unpopularity was the Camp David Accords, for sure. They looked at it as like a betrayal.
Okay, I'm going to ask also another question, which hopefully maybe is connected to this. If we not like helping out in some of this like Middle East bullshit, do them niggas over there fuck with us and do the 9/11 stuff? Or is it because we keep like, because it clearly we have a hand in a lot going on. If we mind our motherfucking business and let them meet up and die, and whoever like to the victor goes the spoils. Mm-hmm. Do they try to fuck with us? Are the niggas in the Middle East thinking, we're going to take over the United States one time? Or they're just saying, we'll let y'all, like, we want no smoke with y'all, but stay out of our fucking business?
It's the latter. Osama bin Laden actually talked about this. He 20 years ago, he wrote a letter called Letter to America. And in the letter, he lists out all of his grievances. And a big part of his grievances was American foreign policy, how we, get involved in a lot of Middle Eastern affairs, how we let Israel run our foreign policy and kill Muslims all over the world, for the betterment of Israel. So a lot of these terrorist attacks almost always are attributed to our foreign policy. If we did not do a lot of the things we do abroad with our interventionist policy, we would not have a lot of the problems that we have when it comes to terrorist attacks in the United States. A lot of it has to do with Israel. And the funny part is that letter actually went viral 2 years ago on TikTok, and they took it down. And they never broadcasted it back in 2003 when it originally came out because the mainstream media was scared that there would be like, code words in there to trigger another attack, but that wasn't true. They just didn't want Americans to understand, why we were attacked on 9/11. But, a big part of that was absolutely because of our foreign policy. Obviously, 9/11 was horrible, but I do think it's important to understand that, it was a conspiracy between multiple different, entities, whether U.S. government, the Saudis, obviously Al-Qaeda, as well as Israel. But yeah, man, our foreign policy has absolutely been a big part of the reason why these terrorists keep attacking us, for sure.
Yeah, I have that letter on my other screen, and like it's fully translated.
Let me see if I can pull it up here.
It says weird. It's on the .gov
TikTok,
website,
bro, and they got rid of it immediately.
Yeah, that's it right there. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what it is. Yeah,
it actually mentioned Jews in the like last paragraph and shit. Oh shit.
Yeah. No, it's a very detailed letter that basically he covers all of his grievances, man, in it. Not to justify what he did, but people say all the time, oh yeah, they attack us because we're free. Bush, famously said back in the early 2000s, oh, they hate us because of our freedoms. That's a lie, dude. It's not because they hate us because of our freedoms. It's because of our, cowboy foreign policy. I'm
reading the letter. He name dropped Obama, and Obama slid. I got to put some respect on Obama's name. Yeah, you got Bin Laden calling you out. He turned that nigga into a pack. Yeah, smoking on that nigga now. Yeah, you can't mention Obama. Obama from Chicago, nigga. Nigga, you from the mountains. He from Chicago. Got your ass rolled up. Threw his ass off a boat. Damn.
Funny story, bro. This guy's actually Saudi Arabian.
Who?
Osama's a Saudi Arabian.
Oh, for real? Yeah.
Well, I think he's of Yemeni descent, but he was a Saudi citizen. You know his family like are billionaires, right?
Yeah, I heard that we like trained the nigga. And then he thought that we trained him with jiu-jitsu. He think he could choke us out. We had to beat his ass.
Yeah, we supported him back in the 70s and the 80s when the Russians invaded Afghanistan. We backed the Mujahideen back then. And they fought the Russians. They won. And then when Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait, Osama went back to the royal family and said, hey, I can defend us. You know, we just beat the Russians. Let us defend us. This is why the whole 9/11 and Iraq thing makes no sense. Osama bin Laden and Saddam Hussein were enemies. Osama bin Laden wanted to fight him on behalf of the royal family because of him invading Kuwait. And the royal family told him, no, we got the U.S. to protect us. And this infuriated Osama because he was like, why are you going to allow Americans, non-Muslims, to come in and defend Saudi Arabia? This is religious land. These Catholics can't come here. And that pissed him off. And then the family told him, hey, we're going to use the Americans, get out of here. And they literally kicked them out of Saudi Arabia and they sent them to Sudan in the 90s. That's what began the radicalization process. So anytime people say, Osama bin Laden and Saddam Hussein worked together, I laugh. Because they were actually sworn enemies. It was what led Osama bin Laden to being ostracized from Saudi Arabia.
Hey, so these two countries, which came up a lot, like, when I was hearing about bin Laden and stuff, I feel like, you just told this whole story, and I don't hear them being mentioned. What the fuck does Pakistan and Afghanistan got? It sounds like that's like the Skid Row where the dirty niggas go to hang out. Like, I'm serious. They found this thing in a cave. Well, he was making videos in a cave. I don't know where the fuck he was at. But, like, it looked like Pakistan. Yeah, he was in Pakistan. Yo, we go over to Pakistan and we just be like, yo, man, listen. Yo, y'all stop all that cow shit smearing shit, man. Yo, where the terrorists at, man? We about to slap y'all niggas up. Like, what the fuck is going on in Pakistan?
He was in Abbottabad. Pakistan is where he was at. That's where he was hiding out. Osama.
So, like, what's our foreign relations with Pakistan? Because, like, when we need to go in there and kill a terrorist, we just say, fuck you, Pakistan. We just show up there and just kill them.
Yeah, they're like
they're pussy.
They're like an ally, but they're kind of an ally, but they're not. Like, we deal with them. Obviously they're a nuclear power, so we have to respect them. But we don't really
Pakistan got nukes?
Yeah, them and India got nukes, bro. Yeah,
really?
They're a nuclear power.
So how come we send our people in there to murder like terrorists and stuff, and they never say nothing? They just be like, oh, wait, bin Laden was here? Like, motherfucker, you knew he was there, bro. You knew that nigga was there.
They play both sides. That's why Obama didn't notify them when they went in there.
What about Afghanistan? Is that just like a patch of dirt? Like, it don't seem like
patch of dirt. Like, nothing. The thing with Afghanistan, it's like it's a very difficult place to fight because it's all mountains, it's rural, it's very difficult, and like the terrain is rough, bro. It's absolutely rough. So the U.S. had a lot of problems fighting in Afghanistan. So it was difficult. But yeah, he was hiding out in Pakistan for a significant amount of time in a compound.
Is Pakistan and Afghanistan, are they cool? They're like cool buddies?
I'm sure they are. I mean, they're both Muslim countries. You have conflicts and skirmishes here and there. But I know India and Pakistan's more concerned with India. So those are the real ops.
When I hear, because I don't like this shit neither. Like, man, fuck all them niggas going on in Afghanistan, man. I don't want no U.S. soldiers over there, man. Let them put their bitches in drape from head to. We don't give a fuck what they got going on in Afghanistan. Why we got soldiers over there? Like, that's why I be thinking I'm like a patch of dirt. Like, man, let them niggas do what they want to do, man. Like,
yeah, that's why we pulled out, even though it was a bad pullout. But yeah.
So hold on. Well, here's the question I'm saying. Why don't we just take that bitch over? Like, yo, we running this shit now. It's our country. Fuck that.
It'll be tough, bro, because then we're going to be responsible for everything. We tried that with Iraq, man, and it's extremely expensive. It's extremely difficult to do. We're talking about rebuilding an entire country. So, like, I think we kind of learned that regime change wars are a lot harder to actually do. And then not only that, keep in mind, when you take over, right, you got to take over all the way, because if you don't, there's a power vacuum created, and then that leaves it, ripe for different organizations to take over. Like, right after we left Afghanistan, the Taliban took it over right after.
Yeah, if Afghanistan had a beach, I'd say, yo, let's just take over this shit on some Christopher Columbus shit. Make that shit Puerto Rico, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, fuck all that. Yo, listen, all y'all Muslim niggas, new rule, man. Everybody gets to do every religion here. If you want to be atheist, you kick it over there. Y'all Catholics, y'all over there. Y'all Muslims there. And yo, all y'all are gonna all salute the only dictator we only jacking one dictator. Donald Trump.
I mean,
Donald Trump. That's the only dictator we jacking, bro.
That's the problem. Like, with these regime change wars, bro, it's and we learned our lesson after Iraq. If you notice, we've been way more careful about, putting boots on the ground and fighting long-term wars, because regime change wars are expensive and quite frankly, you don't get that much benefit from it. So now we use proxies and other powers to do it, or we rely on the citizens to put them out of power nowadays.
Yeah, we should have just owned Afghanistan. Just take it. Like fuck it. Fuck what they got going on talking about like, we're here to protect y'all. No, we own y'all now. Like, this is what we're doing. This is Monopoly. We own y'all. Y'all can keep y'all religion, but y'all all will now respect. Just like, didn't UK did that. The UK has a bunch of colonies all over the place. And eventually
but that shit's hard to maintain, bro. That's why they had to pull out.
Okay.
That's a pull out.
The thing. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah, like maintaining a bunch of colonies is expensive, bro. Actually, matter of fact, it's funny because the Brits used to own Palestine. This used to be called mandatory British Palestine.
Really?
So, yeah, before it became Israel. Yeah, bro. They pulled out.
Yo, what happened to UK, man? They got mad pussy, yo. Like, the UK really used to own so many... the UK, like, Jamaica's a UK colony. And I think what happened is that they realized, if they reigned and, like, everything has to report to the Queen and all that shit, like... people were gonna fight them, and especially like, say for example, Jamaica, like it was really guerrilla warfare. They couldn't handle that, right? Like, yo, you're fighting in forest, and it was so crazy that they were like, yo, listen, let's come to an agreement. We'll oversee you guys, but like we'll allow you guys to have the autonomy that you need. And it was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, no, it's not easy maintaining these big regimes, bro. And then you get uprisings, you get color revolutions, and people get tired of your occupation. So, England used to be the world power. They used to be the reserve currency. They used to be the strongest, nation in the world. But after World War II, we pretty much took that over. And, Winston Churchill gave that famous speech and said, the pinnacle of power is now the United States after they saw us bomb Japan.
Because I ain't gonna lie to you, when you think about, historically, it was definitely the UK. Now, only thing we know the UK for is Central C. Like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Them niggas went from running shit to all they know for is Central C. Like, yo, this shit's crazy. Shit. Like, yo, talk about falling off. Like, yo, they used to run everything. Now they most popping nigga is Central C, bro. Like, yo, Central C is Skepta and 21 Savage, bro. Like, this shit's crazy, dog. Like, yo, these things don't got nothing going on. Yo, they dumb pussy over there. Like, what the fuck? Yo, they need a Trump dude over there. If they got a Trump guy, be like, yo, hold on, man. Yo. We used to run all this shit. We not going back. We like, yo, it feels like even when it feels like the United States, we pop our shit, they be like, you sure? Like, they're not like that no more. Yo, like the only thing they got popping is like the Buckingham Palace. They're not on shit no more. What's up with them? Yo, for real, like, am I tripping? Yo, the UK fell the fuck. Yo, when you think about all the places that the UK, like I always tell people, like when I'm trying to explain to them Jamaica, right? Like,
yeah,
Jamaica,
they had a huge empire, bro. Yeah, huge empire.
We don't like, Patois is not a language, right? It's actually a dialect. The reason is it's a dialect. There's no written version, and it's because of our our history of being colonialized, right? Like, the French came, the Portuguese came, the English came, the Spanish came, and there was a majority slaves that lived on the island of Jamaica. And what happens is, as language became a mix of everything. So patois, like if you actually look at the word patois, that's actually it's French, right? But there's Latin there's Portuguese, there's English influence, and that's how the language came together. So the UK and the British, like, the British Empire, British colonial empire really stretched far and wide. And now, I ain't gonna lie to you, they only known for tea and crumpets and motherfucking Skepta and Central C. This shit's crazy. Like, this is the biggest fall off we've seen in history, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, this is crazy, dog. Yo, they fell off, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. They fell off. But I ain't gonna lie, I think niggas realize the UK was not like that when the US bucked on them, or what was, gonna be the US when they say, yo, bruv, we not about to pay y'all niggas shit for no goddamn tea. And they took that. You know what I mean? Like, yo, what y'all niggas want? Yo. They were trying to get like 20% for tax. Yo, nigga, fuck you. You ain't getting shit. They were trying to do some El Chapo shit. Like, yo, if y'all trying to put drugs through this corridor, you need to give us this amount of money. Yo, by the way, yo, speaking of which, did you see what happened up in one of them like little Mexico cities? Yo, they shot the goddamn Urus. They turned the Urus into a goddamn Corvette. They shot that shit so many times. Yo, when is Trump gonna be like, yo, we're taking over Guadalajara, one of them cities, and get that shit right, man? Because them cartel niggas they're shooting till their gun is empty. What the fuck?
Bro, Mexico, I will never go. After being a federal agent for so many years, bro, I will never, ever go to fucking Mexico, bro. You couldn't pay me to go. Like, I just know too much about how that country's run, bro. There's no way. I don't care, even Cancun. I'm not going. Fuck Mexico, man. One of the worst places on earth, man.
Hey, when I went to Cancun and even Tulum, which, by the way, they're like on the same strip of land pretty much. Number one, the thing I don't like about Cancun, which people overhype, it's really overhyped. It's majority man-made beaches, which a lot of people don't know. It's not like a really beautiful, yes, it is tropical, but it's a rough terrain that is kind of almost like cliffs that kind of get turned into beaches by all of these capitalistic corporations that come in to put resorts. But it's not just like natural beaches as opposed to like the Caribbean. So that's number one. Number two, when you go there, oftentimes when you leave the airport and you're headed to whatever nice resort you're going to in Cancun or Tulum, you'll see a lot of military presence because that's the thing to make sure that them fucking cartel niggas know the fucking boundaries. Yo, kill all the niggas you want over there, like behead them, cut their fingers off, kidnap them, but over here, leave the tourists. And that never struck me as well. You'll see the heavy military presence, and not too long ago, some of the cartel beef and feud and some of the drug influence stuff, which pretty much runs the country. You know that, right? It almost spilled into the tourist areas, and I was like, yeah, this is not the type of. I don't want to get jiggy with this type of shit.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, you're right. Like in Cancun and in these areas, like they have a vested interest in protecting that because a lot of tourist money comes in through that way. But just for me, knowing what I know, I just would never go there just because I just would. All these.
They probably got you listed as a terrorist. You was cracking out. You was busting a lot of them motherfuckers.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if my
you
name.
Probably got a little bounty on you and shit. But yeah, no, that Boston Tea Party shit. Yeah, it was like, listen, we knew the UK wasn't like that. They said we need 3 pence. That was like the fucking the money of that. We need 3 pence as tax. And niggas say, fuck that, we going to war. Beat their ass, man. I ain't gonna lie. We knew they wasn't like that after that, man. They ain't never been the same. Yo, how you turn from, the UK kind of marched to the beat of our drum, low-key. Keep it a beat.
Oh, no, no, dude, 100%. Like, nowadays, they're in lockstep with us with everything that we do. They'll probably
They pop out more with NATO. Like, they really ain't on shit.
Nah, they're like one of our closest. Them in Canada, bro, are very close. I mean, the Five Eyes in general, all the English-speaking, first world countries, Canada, United States, Australia, New Zealand, us, UK, all that, we all work together. So these countries, but the UK is definitely in lockstep with us. They're one of our close allies by far.
Hey, I guess since we're going down history and geopolitics or whatever, whatever happened to Spain? They fell the fuck off too. Wasn't that where Christopher Columbus was from? Nigga, how you go from sailing around the world to find this shit to now Spain? Niggas just know Spain as like a vacation spot, man. They ain't on shit nowadays, man. Spain ain't on nothing. Yo, Spain is done.
I never been, but I haven't really heard anything about. Unless you go to Ibiza, I haven't heard anything.
Yo, I don't hear them like commenting on no type of work. They want no smoke, nigga. They got cancer. They want no smoke. They don't want no problems on the global stage no more. They're out of here.
They mentioned, I remember they said that they weren't going to sell arms to Israel anymore. I think that was like the last thing I could think of because of, obviously there was a lot of pressure because of what they were doing in Gaza.
Yeah.
But that a lot of that was like political posturing shit. Yo, how much longer are you going to be on? Are you going to be on for a bit or?
Shit. Now, listen, I'm gonna let you go do your thing. I'm gonna do like one topic, and then I'm coming back tomorrow, or not. I'm coming back in a couple hours to do like my hip hop topics.
Well, I'll tell you this, yo. Trump is gonna speak at Mar-a-Lago at 11.
Oh, for real?
He is, yeah, to talk about this shit. So,
yo, I can't wait till Trump is hilarious. He's gonna be like. He gonna say some crazy shit like, yo, we caught him like a dog. Like, yo.
Yeah, he is gonna say some shit. Well, apparently, some people are telling me now that, like, apparently he wanted to get captured. I don't know what the hell's going on here. So, I'm gonna look into it and stuff like that. If you're gonna be on for like the next hour, so I'm gonna go do some research and come right back, and we could talk about it more if you want.
No, absolutely. By the way, it would make sense him wanting to get captured because if there was major resistance of people saying that he rigged the election, there's probably there's probably
everybody's saying he rigged the election. Everybody's saying that.
There's probably a opposition group that number one probably already thought that the only way to power is through a coup, and probably were planning on getting him out of here probably through death. So obviously now it would be the time where they could kill him and establish a new order, and it'd be fine. So him getting captured is probably the better thing, given the fact that I think the U.S. is not trying to look to put him in jail forever. Well, they're going to try, but they'll let him go on some pardon shit, just like the Honduras nigga, if he plans to stay out of the way.
Yeah, I think getting him out of power was really what they cared about, by any means necessary. And I think now that they got that, that's really what they care about. But yeah, we'll figure it out. I mean, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go on Twitter, see what the hell's going on, and if you're still on, I'll jump back on with you and kind of let you know what's going on.
Yeah. Are you staying on until Trump speaks?
I think so, bro. I'm probably not gonna sleep. I'm wide awake, so I'm probably gonna stay up all night. Pause.
All right, lit, man, lit. Hey, listen. That's going to be a comedy special to rival Dave Chappelle, man. All right, bro. Yo, thank you for getting on here with me. And always,
bro, anytime, dude. Anytime. Like, I think your audience and my audience enjoy the jokes and shit like that. I'm still dying over the Central C shit, bro. Like,
no, for real. That's what they know for now, bro. It's over, bro. This shit's a wrap.
Nigga said they don't got nothing but Central C. Come on, man. Do London like that, bro. You're gonna get stabbed over that next time you go over there, bro. They're gonna shove you, fam.
No. They got some real niggas over there. I'm just saying politically they own shit, man. Like, they not own nothing. That's it. It is what it is. Canada too, and I love Canada. Like Toronto's my favorite city.
Canada is basically India now, bro.
Yo, I've been hearing about that.
They're double cooked, Canada.
Yeah, I've heard that. And also, you heard about this Somalian shit going on in Minneapolis, bro? It's like,
yeah, man. I mean, I could have told you years ago that these niggas be doing fraud. I've known that for a minute. That they be doing all that fucking welfare fraud, all that fucking childcare fraud, man. They've been doing that shit for a minute.
Oh shit! Why is Canada turned into like India now? What's popping with that?
They have very lax immigration law, bro. Very lax. It's bad.
Really?
Like, you think our immigration system gets finessed, bro? Their immigration system's even worse, bro.
I thought it was harder to go there, though.
No, it's easier. I had a big case, on the Tamil Tigers and Sri Lankans back in the day, and what they were basically doing, without going into too much detail and putting people to sleep, was they were going through the United States to go to Canada because Toronto has like the biggest population of Sri Lankans outside of Sri Lanka, and they have very lax immigration laws. So that's a big reason why so many people in general immigrate to Canada. Like they got a loophole in their asylum process. I don't know exactly what it is, but I remember talking with like CBSA agents and shit like that, which is like their equivalent of like customs and the RCMP. I had a case with RCMP and CBSA, and they told me about this, and they were explaining to me how like there's a loophole in immigration law that they're able to utilize to their advantage in Canada. So they prefer to go to Canada over the United States because we're actually much more stricter than they are in comparison when it comes to immigration.
Interesting. All right, man. I'm gonna let you get back to doing what you do, man. Thank you.
Yeah, brother. I'll hit you back in a little bit.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely.
All right, bro. Take it easy. All right, later.
Holy chat. We are, you know what I mean? I hope you guys got some type of understanding or education from that. I did. I kind of did. Because I be looking at the Middle East, I'm like, yo, I'm a little bit ignorant to this shit. I'm like, yo, just draw a big-ass circle and get rid of all of them. I don't care what's going on over there. Like, bro, I don't live over there. The fuck? Like, just draw a big circle. Just big-ass circle. And fuck them all. Right? Or just ignore them. You know what I mean? You got to get rid of them. Just fuck them. Like, just ignore them. Like, I don't care what y'all got going on over here. Let's kick it with these civilized people over here. I've never heard niggas from Ireland acting up. You know what I mean? Like, you ever heard niggas from Ireland acting up? Y'all never heard like niggas from Denmark like, yo, we got bombs strapped to our chest. Nah, they chilling. They chilling. Let's talk to these niggas over here. You feel me? Let's talk to niggas like in Austria. Well, I don't know what's going on in Austria. Let's just keep it about Ireland and Portugal. I never heard a nigga in Portugal wilding out. Like, you know what I mean? Like Portugal, I ain't never heard no shit like that. The problems in the world once we pass this line right here is a bunch of bullshit. Ain't nothing popping over here. Like you pass Right here, when you get to Ukraine, it's a lot of fuck shit. You get what I'm saying? It's like you going to the hood. Every city got like the cool areas, the suburbs. You got the downtown area. And once you drive past Martin Luther King Boulevard in every city, it's straight fuck shit. You got degenerates, bums. You got you got the worst of the worst. Niggas banging all Yo, and if you thought about your city, you're like, yo, if we could fix this whole city right now, we eliminate all of this. Word two. That's how I kind of look at this. Like, bro, I don't care about nothing that's going on over there. Kazakhstan? Nigga, I only seen that shit in a fucking movie. Get it out of here. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I draw one line right here. Bang. You know what I mean? If Ukraine, we don't care what you got going on, man. Russia, take it. We good. We'll rock with Poland. Yo, my nigga Yachty brought the walk to Poland. We rock with Poland. Poland, cool. Italy brought us some good food. Yo, Greece, the bitches still getting fucked out there on yachts. We rocking with them. France, cool. We want to go see the Eiffel Tower. Spain, they ain't on shit, but they cool. Portugal, we rock with them. Ireland, we rock with them. United Kingdom, we got Central Sea. Denmark, Norway. Yo, we popping with y'all niggas. Yes, it's cool. Everything over here, I don't like not one of them. Not one of them. Syria, Iraq, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Oman. What the fuck they got? What? Turkmenistan. Like, none of these spots even look dope. Get them out of here. I think we should draw one line. Bang. Draw the line. Right after Egypt. Yo, peace out. We don't talk to y'all niggas at all. Straight up. Nigga, I never heard no beef in Belarus. Finland. I know some Swedish hoes. They on that shit. Norway, yeah. Iceland. Does anybody live in Greenland? I don't know. But as soon as you go over this fucking region here, man, I've never heard nothing good about Kuwait, bro. Not one thing, bro. Oh, actually, no. I guess Dubai over here, so we got to keep Dubai. All right, let's just carve out Dubai. Dubai could come. Dubai cool. We don't hear them with no bullshit. Bring Dubai. But Saudi Arabia, you got to go. Fuck out of here, nigga. Saudi Arabia got to go. Israel got to go. Jordan got to go. Lebanon got to go. Syria got to go. Iraq got to go. Iraq got to go. Turkmenistan. All them stands got to go. Pakistan. All of them go. Leave. Look at these fucking countries. Kyrgyzstan. It's like a shithole. Get it out of here. And then we're going to stop at China because we need our iPhones. That's a fact. Y'all ain't gonna get us. Nah, we like Kung Fu, we like Jackie Chan, and we like our iPhones. Y'all ain't gonna tell us nothing about that. Facts. And we would say fuck India too, but India gave us curry, and we gotta rock with them. They came with the herbs and spices. We rock with them. But Bangladesh, y'all ain't got nothing going on. Get them out of here. We taking India. India, y'all good. Yo, Thailand, I ain't gonna hold you. We would rock with y'all, but like y'all got too many lady boys. Y'all might have to go too. Peace. Catch you later, nigga. Too many lady boys over there. We ain't rocking with that shit. Facts. What else? Cambodia. Nigga, the only time I ever heard about Cambodia is like when you seen them like, yo, $1 sponsor of 15 kids for a year. Get them out of here too, bro. Respectfully. We love y'all. Malaysia. Man, get these niggas out of here too, bro. Kuala Lumpur. Ain't nobody trying to go there, man. Get out of here. Actually, don't they got some good beaches down here? Maybe. Hold on. Let me see these other places. The Philippines. Nah, they got some bad bitches in the Philippines. We got to keep that. Word too. Yep. We're going to keep that one. Indonesia. What the fuck is all this right here? Papua Guinea. What the fuck? I've heard about that before. Australia, we keep it. Australia gave us the crocodile. Crikey! What's that nigga name? He died. He got stung by the little fish, the jellyfish. We keeping Australia. They got kangaroos. I like kangaroos. Ain't it like a SeaWorld over there or some shit like that? They got Sydney. Yeah, I'm keeping Australia popping. They got kangaroos over there. Yeah, I like it. Fucking with it. The rest of this shit, delete it. Japan. They got anime over there or some shit like that, right? The fuck they got in Japan? Delete North Korea. Get it out of here. Get it out of here. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna lie. We should do a deal. We'll let them take South Korea and North Korea. Like, yo, if we can, we pick South. We'll keep South. But if they said, yo, you gotta delete the whole Korea, get them out. It's okay. We'll be all right. Mongolia, we don't know what the fuck that is. Russia, bruh. Nobody trying to go to Russia. This shit just look like a wilderness. Like, look at this shit. Fuck out of here. Look, I can't even read the words. Bro, I can't even read the words. Man, get this shit out of here. Let me see what else popping. Yeah. Yeah, if you ask me, we would have a new world. It go from Hawaii, and we stop right here once we start getting to all this bullshit in the Middle East. Just cut it off. And we take a few places. India, you could come. Y'all ain't, India got like 5 billion people. They don't beef with nobody. What the hell they got going on? India population. India population, they got 4 times the amount of people in India than the U.S., but they have no power in the world because all they praise is goats and cows. Like, yo, oxtail run the whole country. Like, it's just crazy. Like, you don't got to worry about them for nothing. These motherfuckers praying to 3 goats and 2 cows. Good. They just gave us Navaraj. Thank you. They don't want no smoke. They don't want no smoke. Leave them alone. I like my Indian people, man. I rock with y'all niggas, man. No problems. They ain't, Myron said they got some bombs, but I don't even know if they got, what the fuck they got in India? Nigga, when I say India, I just smell it already. Word too. Like, get this culture. I like them. I like Indian people. It's my people over there. Feel me? They got 1 billion people, man. They ain't got nothing going on. They ain't on shit. It's always these countries with nothing. Like, look at this shit. This region just look like hell. Iran? Who the fuck want to go there? Yeah, this is a problem region, man. Anyway, all right. Geopolitics with Big Ack is done. What y'all want to talk about now? I know what y'all want to talk about. Y'all want to talk about Celina Powell fucking Offset. I know. God damn it. Yo, why does she keep getting away with this shit, chat? Now, Celina Powell posted a video of her and Offset in bed, and I ain't gonna lie, I was shocked. Now, I'm going to give y'all the backstory behind this. So back in the day, one of the ways how Celina got her notoriety, and remember, because she was fucking a lot of these rappers, she kind of got blackballed. One of the reasons why Celina, credits me for her having, if you want to call this a career, but I guess whorism is a career, like shout out to OnlyFans. She credits me, but really it's us, because let me bring y'all back in a time capsule. In 2016, we were streaming and we were popping, we were doing good. We meet somebody named Celina Powell, who had information and stories about rappers that we would listen to. The Waka Flockas of the world, I know he's a producer, but the Young Chops, the Chief Keefs. And she would flaunt her sexual escapades with them, but in an unflattering manner, because she was there to expose them as, she would tell everything about the sexual experience, or she would have videos of her being with them, and it made them look kind of down bad. The reason why we actually got in contact with her is that because I remember she came to us with information about, I don't know if it was Offset at the time. It wasn't Offset. It was some other rappers. I think Waka Flocka was one of the big ones too. And this was her play, right? At the time, I didn't know, but I found out afterwards. Shade Room and Baller Alert, the 2 biggest female blogs on Instagram, they had blacklisted her because she had like this spotty history of, she would tell the truth mixed with a couple lies. And then, she would then get the reporting outlets like Shade Room into problems with the people who they cared about more, which was these celebrities. So these celebrities would start looking down on these outlets saying, yo, you're working with this girl. They blackballed her. They stopped posting her. This is before this is before OnlyFans, so she's just doing whatever she's doing. When she gets introduced to me, we don't give a fuck if, like, we cared about the entertainment aspect. You would have women who would get mad at these guys, like, damn, you're cheating. We don't give a fuck about that. Like, people just wanted to know what their favorite rappers were like. It's unlike, remember I told you about how the internet's killed aura? Back then, it was unfathomable that a woman that wasn't super tapped in or popular from Denver, Colorado, would be able to get around all these celebrities who we didn't even know their demeanor. So she was one of the first people that'd be like, oh no, I slept with your favorite rapper. This is how he's like. And now I'll not only tell you about how he's like sexually, I'll tell you how he's really like. Now, I've told you guys about this internet thing. That is gone. Most attractive or semi-attractive women these days have, on average, a few, maybe 2 to 3 blue check marks in their DM. Now, fame, obviously, there's a sliding scale, but it's not a taboo anymore when a female says, oh, there's a popular guy that's talking to me or trying to talk to me. Back then, there was. So this girl blew up off primarily her being the first to show everybody what their favorite rapper was like or what they were into or whatever the case is. So she came on our stream and she would always have these stories. She's like, yo, me and so did whatever, and this is some extra information. And for us, we don't give a fuck. Like, we know these bitches is fucking. We cared about, we're getting to find out inside information about rappers and how they really live. OnlyFans popped off at the right time for her. And by the way, there's always been a woman that existed like her. Like we talk about the Cat Stacks of the world, the Superheads of the world. That is from the same tree that you get a Celina Powell. However, none of them had the financial opportunities that somebody like Celina has or had. OnlyFans came in at the right time because it was never monetizable to expose the fact that you're sleeping with all these celebrities until she did, right? Obviously, Superhead tried to write a book. Who else? Cat Stacks. She was associated with the Q from World Star, but she looks down bad these days. Celina actually did. Why did I tell you guys that? Because one of the notable times so she starts coming out on our stream, and I didn't give a fuck to fact check most of the stuff she was saying. It was just entertaining. And I think even the audience was just taking it as, this shit's some entertaining shit. Right? Like, we don't really care how this nigga fucked you, if he ate your pussy. We don't give a fuck. It's entertaining you kind of telling us how these guys move outside the public eye, because at that point you didn't see it. Okay. Around 2018, 2019, really 2017 actually, enter Offset. And we get Celina, who claimed that she was pregnant for Offset. Now, if y'all remember vividly back then, we did this on stream. Celina provided a test and said, I'm pregnant for Offset. I'm going to have his baby. This shit was pretty viral, but also it was fascinating because, again, it's this idea of this regular girl being able to trick and trap a celebrity that's a millionaire. Coming to find out years later, she wasn't pregnant for him, supposedly. She kind of made the whole thing up. And did they know each other? Did they fuck? I don't really know. But it was one of those things that helped garner her a reputation as the woman. And, you know, I don't know what y'all think about Celina. I don't think she's ever been ugly. She's not an ugly girl. But she was seen as a regular girl who could sleep with whatever celebrity she wanted. Right? Rappers start to stay away from her. Some, even though some still indulge, because nothing's weaker than the flesh. We know we're niggas. We know how it goes. Long story short is that this morning when I opened up my Instagram and saw this video, I was shocked because the number one celebrity, when we think about this rise to exposing people, this and third, who should be the most, not saying disgusted, but he should want to stay the furthest away from Celina, is Offset. There was a time that when Offset just got with Cardi B, Celina Powell claimed she was pregnant for Offset. She claimed that Offset was fucking her consistently to the point that Cardi B hated Celina. Was it true? We don't know. But if anybody should have learned a lesson to stay away from Celina Powell because she has caused you problems, well, maybe it's me, number one. But number two, it's Offset. So when I actually see a video of him in bed with her, 8 years later, I'm shocked beyond belief. So she posts this video, and let me see. And on the video she posts, I don't know if it's still up. Is it still up on her page? She says, I just made a tape last night, and all you heard was him in the video. LOL, Offset, you a sleepy boy. Here's the video in question. Wait.
Offsets his annoying behavior just a little bit. Perfect. Thank you.
Now, it's one of those. And by the way, going back into this conversation, I'm going to keep harping back to it because this is a real theory that I'm building off of, is that I believe that celebrityism has become more normalized to the regular folk. If it wasn't, I think Offset would have been more protective of his image. But I think we've all gotten past, for the most part, the idea of, there was a time where a woman could be like, I just slept with him, or I have a story about how he fucked me, pause. And that would be enough to keep people intrigued. In 2025, 2026 now, we all admit that celebrities there's so many celebrities, there's so many popular people, and they're so accessible that if a girl told you, hey, a celebrity DM me, you're not going to be like, oh my God, really? You're going to be like, oh, word, who? It's just not a big deal. That's the point I'm saying. So I think that made Offset get caught off guard. He's not thinking, yo, like 8 years ago, you got to take Celina's phone. Now they're kind of looking at it like, bro, even if you take a picture of me while I'm sleeping, who's going to believe you? Or who's going to care? Now, I agree. I don't think most people would care if you had a picture right now with, I don't know, say Gunna. I don't think it's going to be breaking news if you're a woman and you took a picture of him sleeping. A couple people are going to cover, but it's not that, yeah, so what, he fucked you. I think this is going viral, and this did go viral because of the aspect that the context is. Back in the day, Celina claimed she was pregnant for him. Her and Cardi B don't get along. Cardi B and Offset was beefing supposedly over Celina Powell, trying to figure out if what she was claiming was true. I would think that Offset wouldn't be with her, but here goes what happens. Offset guard is down and he's with this woman. Okay? So, this is what the video that ends up coming out. Anyway, now I did talk to Celina. I know some people were like, Acrobat. No, me and Celina are homies, bro. Like, y'all forgot that when I met Celina, when she came on here, she used to tell me about how she fucked the entire industry. I would not give a fuck. So, you know what I mean? Like, that this is her MO. There is a longer story to this, supposedly. And, you know, with her telling me the story today, she did ask me, she said, I want to be able to tell the story first. I will say this, and with all due respect to Offset, and this is definitely the pot calling the kettle black, because I have these issues somewhat as well. Offset needs possible rehab for his gambling addiction. I'll leave it there. It's you can't be this much of a degenerative gambler that you have turned to the likes of Celina Powell. And not saying there's nothing inherently wrong with her, but you're putting yourself in positions that actually you're forgetting who you are. Like, you're still Offset, right? And some of these other things that are your vices, it's becoming so controlling that now you're putting yourself in positions around people that not only will make you look crazy if they want to, but might compromise you and definitely your initiatives of, you know, your family. Okay? I'll leave that there. I'll do a quick commentary on this. I've seen people say accurate ducking a topic really well. No, it's not much of a topic to duck. Aiden Ross, Drake steak. I'll kind of, you know, really quickly try to break this down. There's not much for me to talk about with it. People have incorrectly said that I'm involved in this lawsuit. I'm not. I obviously love steak. It's a great place. But the news came down that Drake, Aiden Ross are being sued, and they're being sued in what's hoping to be a class action lawsuit. Again, I'm not going to go through every single thing, but I'm going to give you my thoughts about it. I'll tell you what the allegations are. They're saying that Drake has used gambling on stake to bot his music through illegal and illicit means, and that him and Aiden Ross transfer money in non-regulated ways. And essentially, I'll just read this. The federal class action lawsuit, as reviewed by Complex, was filed in Virginia. It claims the website is operating one of the largest and most profitable legal casinos, at least since 2022. These are the plaintiffs. There's two women. One of them that I seen filed for bankruptcy not too long ago. And Tiffany Hines, they allege that stake misleads consumers while allowing real money wagering disguised as virtual currency play. Now, the odd part about this is that both plaintiffs don't seem to be, I read the whole lawsuit. They don't even allege in the lawsuit that they have played on stake and they have lost money. I didn't see that at all. There's no anecdotes about, oh, this is how I was taken advantage of. So let me tell you the bigger picture. And I'll finish reading this and I'll tell you what I think the bigger picture is. It says Drake and Aiden Ross are characterized in the lawsuit as zealous and paid promoters of a platform with incentives to mask the true nature and extent of their conduct. Complaint also state that Stake's internal tipping system was used by Drake and Aiden Ross to move large sums of money, including a $100,000 tip between them to fund a artificial streaming button to create fraudulent streams for Drake's music. All right. This is where it gets a little bit loopy, right? If they were just saying, yo, well, we want to know, are you gambling with your real money on stake, right? Okay, fine. Maybe that's a question you could ask, and I don't know. I don't know if courts answer that question or not. Which, you know, from everything I know, and this is just my personal knowledge, Drake has a contract with Stake. They give him a certain amount of money. He then uses that money and he gambles a portion of it. If he wins, he keeps it. If he loses that portion of money, right? That's my understanding of it. Same with Aiden Ross. Now, this last paragraph is where I think I look into the bigger picture of what this is. This isn't like some person who said, yo, I start gambling because of Drake and Aiden Ross, and I lost all my fortune. And they made it seem to me like, you know, they were using their money and they're not using their money. That's not even this. What this ends up being is this RICO or racketeering allegation. And by the way, people keep saying Drake gets hit with a RICO. I hear y'all. This is a civil RICO. And by the way, it's a civil, anybody can file a civil RICO. This last paragraph is confusing. So at first they're saying, oh, well, we're skeptical about Stake. All right, whatever. Then the last part is saying that they believe that Drake is using Stake as like some back channel, dark web type of place to bot his own music through payments through other things for fake streams. That's where I feel we're headed towards cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs land. It's kind of ridiculous. By the way, if anyone is served in this lawsuit, I believe it will get thrown out immediately. There's not much claims here. Now, here's the bigger picture for me. I've looked at both of the plaintiffs, LaShawn Ridley and Tiffany Hines. I can't even see how they're that connected to this particular, to even gambling or to even the music business at all. What this seems to me, because the second lawyer on this is a really high-powered lawyer, it seems like somebody's funding, and I want you guys to listen to me, somebody's funding this in hopes of trying to disrupt, harass, or possibly later try to get information about Drake. It's kind of the same thing. Remember when I said I did the Rock Nation deposition, and then they were really keen on asking me, so has Drake ever sent you money for music? And I'm like, Drake has never sent me money at all. But they kept asking certain things that was deviating away from the main topic that why we were there, which was Meg Thee Stallion and Milagro Cooper. Didn't I tell you that there were people that showed up in Australia, you know, trying to look for certain individuals, that they were asking some of these questions? Again, it's not about that particular inquiry or probe. I'm trying to speak to where this is coming from. All signs to me say that, you know, between Universal Music Group, who I believe are incentivized to launch a counterattack, even though, you know, recently they did get a win in court with the lawsuit getting dismissed, launch a counter, initiative against Drake. But that kind of falls flat on his face because Universal wouldn't accuse Drake of botting his streams. You know why? Universal also benefits from Drake's streams. And if you accuse Drake of botting his streams, you basically accuse Spotify for paying out money they should have not. Spotify is a public company. That's a problem. So that takes Universal out of there, right? So at first I'm like, well, maybe it's Universal trying to clap back at Drake because Drake's suing them. But I got to take them out of there because why? Universal wouldn't accuse their own artists of botting. They're going to deny botting all over. Why? They have benefited from it. It's like if I'm the beneficiary of a scam, the worst thing I could do is to admit the scam. If anything, I'm going to just act like I don't know about the scam. I wouldn't admit or accuse someone of the scam if I benefit. So let's take Universal out of here. Who else has any type of interest in Drake's music, or maybe money that Drake's getting. Obviously, Roc Nation becomes one of those interesting figures. Now, some people might be like, "Oh, everything is Roc Nation." Well, we're going off actual and tangible proof. Roc Nation deposed me for a non-related case and asked me about Drake and asked me about Drake and Steak. Now we see this. Moreover, what I think is happening here, and for the people who are really excited, I think this case goes nowhere. But the main point of this is that there's a few people or players that I think are either collaborating or it's one of them. So I think this comes from Roc Nation, or this comes from a few, it's like ambulance chasers, so to speak. Like there's these companies that will wait for something to happen and they file strategic lawsuits. So in the gambling world, there are people who wait for casinos or social casinos to get to a certain size, and then they file these lawsuits hoping for, try to mount a bunch of evidence hoping for a payout. So I'm not saying this is some big conspiracy. I do think Roc Nation could have been involved because they're a likely suspect at this point. But what I really think this is that this is a frequent pay me money shakedown. You basically start a class action lawsuit against these type of businesses, and usually they pay out quickly to avoid it getting too big. So that's what that is. The allegation that Drake is using these proceeds to bot his music, and they keep talking about narrative. It doesn't feel like it's just only a casino only venture. And if you ask me, the leading suspect here is clearly Roc Nation. Okay? So I do see people really interested in this. It's the allegations, and by the way, most of the allegations is flat out false, right? They accuse, there is this artificial intelligence person that operates within the realm that's connected to me, that they accuse of running a company. He don't even run the company. They accuse Drake of playing on particular sites. He don't play on those sites. Like their information lacks accuracy, and it's more about them trying to get more info. And I think that's what this is. I think when they asked me questions for 9 hours, they used 2 minutes of conversation from me in court, but they questioned me for 9 hours for the Meg Thee Stallion stuff. The true purpose wasn't to get, wasn't to ask me questions to get whatever outcome they wanted in court. The true outcome for them was to let's get Ack on the record answering these questions, that we could use these questions for our other initiatives. So that's what I think this is. Drake, people want to know about his gambling deal, what he does, and I think this is a way they're going to try to force it. I think this goes nowhere, and I wouldn't be surprised if this gets thrown out within 3 months. So they got to serve people in this, and I think it's going to get thrown out, honestly. Okay? I know you guys are waiting for some more elaborate breakdown of this, like there's a conspiracy theory. There's not. The lawsuit, and I read it, most of the details are off, and it's making a leap in judgment to say Drake is using Steak to fuel his music career. Drake has been the most successful male artist since day one till now. Why would he need Steak to fuel that? And even if he did, we can't even see, at least visibly, from my perspective, we don't even see a Stake logo in any music-related things with him. Yeah, he has it on his social media, but we don't see it in his music. So, what do you want to make of this? Again, I think this will get thrown out. Give it 3 to 4 months. But obviously, you guys are thirsty for some more information about it. I did want to say I'm not officially mentioning this because none of this shit here got nothing to do with me. Also, this idea that Drake got 100,000 from Drake and Aiden Ross. Maybe I don't know the legality of that, but that got nothing to do with like some conspiracy about Stake. The dude gave him $100,000 that you never been in a casino and they could be like, yo, you got 1,000? Yo, let me hold it. I'm gonna pay you back. That's what that was. Okay? So this lawsuit doesn't make sense, and we'll see. We'll see where it goes. All right? Yeah, they're going to keep creating stuff, and what I realize is that the headline makes it more important than the details. I could pull this lawsuit up and go through it line by line, but you know what you're going to realize? There's nothing there. But the headlines all suggest this is actually credible, right? All right, chat. It's 6:41, man. I'm finna call it. I apologize for popping on late tonight, but you guys got some geopolitical education, and we got to at least somewhere in trying to figure out what's going on globally. We now know what's going on in Venezuela, but we'll continue from here, and I'll move back on with the obvious topics of. We had a couple other topics, but they're more hip-hop topics. We'll get to them hopefully in a few hours for a daytime stream that I promised you guys from before. All right? Thank you, guys. This is day 2 of, was it 15? We'll see if we get there. All right? Chat, I love y'all. I will see y'all later. And please, get some sleep. Make sure you make it to work. And wait, today's Saturday, right? Oh, shit. Today's Saturday. It's probably the weekend for most of you guys. You guys are off. Unless you work on weekends. All right, chat. Catch y'all later. Peace.